All right. Welcome back to Duskwood. Technically, part three, because we did have an introduction. We had that first live stream, and now we have our second live stream of episode 10. Now, if this is anything like the previous episodes, they had two sets of puzzles, and that was the entire episode. I don't know if there's going to be a third set. I don't know if there's only two sets. Maybe we're right at the finish line of Duskwood episode 10. Maybe this is going to be it. I don't know. Obviously, I haven't played it yet because you guys are going through it with me. But I feel like there's still so much to do. And where we left off previously talking with Alan, Alan's going to help us. We know that the Grimrock is where the man without a face is hiding, aka Richy. Until I'm proven wrong, I'm gonna be accusing Richy the entire time until the man without a face reveals his face to not be Richy. It's Richy. until I'm proven wrong. And I've been saying this from a long time. Shoot, what was it? Episode 4 is when I started saying it, maybe 5. I don't know. I think I was really, really hard on Richy being man without a face ever since he quote unquote died. But I don't think he's dead. I think he's definitely the man without a face. And I hope you guys have been enjoying this journey with myself going through Duskwood. I mean, from the very beginning up until now, I hope you guys have been really enjoying it. Hope you guys enjoy this channel. Hope you're enjoying this content. And if you are, hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and join the Tethered. There's a bunch of different ways if you'd like, there's a bunch of different ways that you can support me and this channel. A lot of those you can follow me at the links down below. You can check out the merch. Links all down below. You could simply just like and comment and share my videos and subscribe to the channel. You can also join as a member, and a special shout out to all of my current members. I've seen it. I see a few of you guys in chat already. Thank you so much for joining as a member. And without further ado, first, let me welcome each and every one of you. Broly, I see Broly San is here. Give me one second. Let me just update this. All right, Lily, I see Lily, Daya, Travis. Welcome back, Travis. Been a while since I've seen you, Travis. But it's great to have you back. Diamond White, Broly, Egg Chia, Rains, I think that's how you pronounce it. I'm gonna get your guys' names wrong. It's just, it happens. It happens to me quite often. YouTube family fan, welcome to the stream. Lacey, welcome. April, it's great to see you all here. Lily, Saigion, I know I got it wrong. I apologize. Jessica M, welcome to the stream. All right, I think Rev wants Link. Welcome to the stream. I haven't seen you before, Rev. Great to see new people here. Maribel, welcome. And for anyone, Raku, Patty S, Raku Ichiju. I apologize, I messed up your name. I know I did. And anyone else that's currently watching that hasn't said hello. And for those silent followers, the silent subscribers who like to just follow along and listen to my voice, welcome to the stream. Now, without further ado, let's get in here. We have Alan. April, I've learned not to even try your last. I've tried so many times and I always get it wrong. It's just April's easier. Alistair, welcome. And Anhad, you almost got me. Anhad, welcome. Great to see you all. Sister M, welcome to the stream. Silent subscriber here. Yeah, see, I knew I had some of you out there. I knew I had Sister M out there. I knew you were out there. All right, Alan, I'm here now. Well, I'm at the end of the road. Okay, so Alan was on his way to Grimrock. We convinced him. We convinced Alan to help us. Which I have a feeling, I don't know for sure. But I have a feeling, depending on our choices, maybe Alan wasn't going to help us. I don't know. Sweet, sweet Vivian, welcome to the stream. Great to see you. Bonjour, tongue-tied. Oh, are you French? Are you from the France? Are you French? Sweet, sweet. Well, it's great to have you here. It's great to have the French here. I know I've stretched all across the world, and it's great to have every one of you here. But yes, we talked to Alan. We convinced Alan, and I don't know if other choices that we could have made would have convinced Alan to follow us through. Now, I will tell you guys this: after episode 10 is finished, I'm gonna go back through, and I've already started it. I'm gonna go back through, and we're gonna go back through as the female version and make all of the wrong decisions, probably. We're gonna try to make all the wrong decisions. We have started. I think we've left off with episode 7. So once episode 10 is done, we'll get back into it and we'll start off right where we left off with the female version. And when we get up to these points where I think that, it could change, well, we're gonna try to do some different things and maybe make all the wrong decisions. I don't know, but we're gonna go back through and we're gonna catch it on the female side as well. All right, so Alan's at the road. I'm going to have to go to the rest of the way on foot. Right. So why are you already messaging me? How far is it to the Grimrock? We don't want to be rude to Alan. I mean, he's helping us. We don't want to give him a reason not to help us. But maybe in the second playthrough we give him that reason not to help us. Eric Nicolaisen, welcome to the stream. Great to see everyone here. About 800 meters, about maybe half a mile. That's good that he says about a half a mile because um, I'm not on the metric system. I don't know 800 meters, but I do know a half a mile. I thought the two of us could have a little chat in the meantime, now that you're no longer hiding from me. You know what? I can have a chat with you, Alan. I'd like to get to know you a little bit better, because why not? I'd say it depends on the topic. What do you want to talk about? Sure. Yeah, you know what, Alan? We can do that. We can talk. We can have a good old chat while you're helping me find Hannah at the Grimrock, because we know she's there. We heard her. We heard her through the microphone. We heard her I'm assuming being carried, because it only sounded like one set of footsteps. Didn't sound like anybody was being dragged. So she was probably being carried. Maybe you'd like to tell me how you got involved in all of this. You're not from Duskwood, are you? Oh, I would love to tell you how I got dragged in all this. Because I'm definitely not from Duskwood, and it wasn't up to me. Hannah pulled me in. Look, Hannah pulled me all in all this. I don't know how Hannah did. She gave the group my number. She sent her friend Thomas a message. That's what it was. She did send it to Thomas. I don't think she sent it to the group. She sent it to Thomas, and then Thomas reached out to me. But how did Hannah know my number? Or was it Jake that did it? But how would Jake even know who I am, or why would Jake want to have anything to do with me? Or should I say you're suspect? Is Thomas still the suspect? I mean, Phil's still in jail, right? Phil's never gotten out of jail. It wasn't Phil like in jail because they thought he had something to do with Hannah, and he's still in jail. Did we forget about Phil? I don't even know. Like, is Phil still part of this? Until today, I have no idea why. I think I know Hannah, but I don't know. But I think that was only a misunderstanding. I think it was a misunderstanding. Hmm. What are we talking about? We're talking about Thomas, right? She sent her friend Thomas a message. Or should I say your suspect? Until today, I have no idea why. I think I know Hannah, but ... But I think that was only a misunderstanding. It had to be a misunderstanding because we don't know Hannah. Like we just legitimately do not know her. So it's got to be a misunderstanding, right? They just got lucky that they found the Jam Genius. They got lucky that that Hannah gave Thomas the Jam Genius's phone number so that way I could help out. But anyways, I did reply, and now we're here. What's going on, girl with the lost soul? Welcome to the stream. Welcome, welcome. And here we are now, thankfully, which might not have been the smartest. Look, and here we are now. Oh, I should have said thankfully because I'm the one helping them. I should have said thankfully. I just want to find Hannah, that's all. I just want to help Alan. All I want is to protect my friends. Look, I just want to protect my friends. That's all I want to do. Springtrap Beauty, welcome, welcome. It's great to see you again, Springtrap. So why did you avoid me so persistently? Well, because I was advised to. That would be the truth. Telling Alan that I was advised to avoid him would be the truth. You wouldn't understand. I'm scared. If I tell him it was because I was advised to, he's going to ask why. But it's the truth. I'm going to go with the truth. Amanda Smith, welcome to the stream. Great to see you. Great to see you. Phil's going through master flirt withdrawal in prison? Possibly. Then you should rethink who you want to trust in future. I know that you and your friends were behind that anonymous call concerning the Hansen house. Yeah, well, there was a lot of evidence at the Hansen house. If you were quick enough, you would have been able to find it. Correct, that was us. That was a friend of mine. I made the call personally. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm just going to say it was us, because I'm pretty sure we did that, right? I'm almost certain we did. Is that so? And what did you think we would find there? I'm very happy I only sent one of my men to investigate. Look, there was tons of stuff there. It's not my fault that you didn't find any of it. Maybe that's where you went wrong. Let me guess, the house was empty. Why was the house empty? Well, I mean, when we were there was tons of evidence there. Of course it was. But it was. I have pictures as proof. I could send them all to you. Oh, send a picture of the blanket with the rope. Send a picture of the cork bed. Send a picture of the bunker. The blanket with the rope or the cork bed. I don't think the bunker is anything. Maybe we can send each one of them. Let's send a picture of the blanket with the rope. Maybe we can send each one. I mean, that definitely looks like you're being held there, or maybe a squatter. I don't know. Maybe somebody homeless. But why would there be a rope? We'll see what Alan says. This could have been taken in any house on this green earth. It's Michael Hansen's house, but I don't have a better picture. I have more pictures. Let me send you more pictures. A barrel of containing poisonous substances of the hallway, for example. What about the poisonous substances? Send pictures. Like, well, how do you explain that, Alan? That just doesn't show up in any single house on this green earth. This really doesn't prove anything. I bet you find those same contaminants. I have had to work hard for my current position, and I've always been very passionate about my job. Duskwood has always been my #1 priority. Only for me to slowly but surely become the joke of the town? How did you become the joke of the town? I don't understand. Can you imagine the kind of things the mayor has been saying to me about the poison at the Grimrock? Yeah, that's the same poison. I just sent you a picture of it. And that was at Michael Hansen's house. That's why like the things were chained off, right? Because that's what Cleo told us, wasn't it? They blocked off the Grimrock Falls because it was poison. I mean, that's the poison. But you've only blocked off the Grimrock instead of looking for the culprit. Nothing good, I suppose. You're making it sound like this is my fault. Poison at the Grimrock. Courtney, welcome to the stream. Great to see you. Great to see you. Do you really think it's that easy? Well, I have quite a few questions I'd like to ask you. You can believe me. I've got all the answers, Alan. I have all the answers. Every single answer I get. Let's assume I actually find Miss Dawnford at the location described by you. Okay. Then will you have knowledge only the culprit could have possessed? Then will you have knowledge only the culprit could have possessed? What then should keep me from issuing a warrant for your arrest? So, I've never been to Duskwood, yet I'm the one moving Hannah Dawnford all around all these different places. Oh, Springtrap. I knew your name was Courtney. I just say a bunch of different names until somebody is shocked that I found out their name. But now I know, Courtney. You told me yourself. Now I know Springtrap is Courtney. No. Now Courtney Beard is also in chat. Great to see everyone. John, great to see you. But yeah, it doesn't make any sense, Alan. How would I be moving Courtney? How am I moving Courtney around? No. How am I moving Hannah around if I've never been to Duskwood? I mean, you clearly even said that I've never been to Duskwood. Now, you might have been just saying that because I said that, but I don't know. But, I mean, I'm not the only one that has this knowledge. Like, we all heard it. Like, the whole group has this knowledge. I'm just the one reaching out to you. Should keep me from issuing. You can issue a warrant for my arrest, but you're not going to find any evidence that I had anything to do it. Look, you just have to trust me. You're just going to have to trust me, Alan. Honey Bear, definitely weird for Alan to ask, right? I mean, it's almost like he's still trying to convince himself that I'm the bad guy. Do I? You're going to have to if you want to find Hannah safe and sound, because I know where she is. It's not because of any reason other than the fact that I did your job for you, Alan. Chief Tongue-Tied is in office. Chief Tongue-Tied is on the case. I could just go offline right now. You have to promise me not to do that. If I was a culprit, I wouldn't be telling you where Hannah... Perfect. I mean, exactly. Why would I be telling you where Hannah is if I was indeed the culprit? Like what? I'm trying to do the right thing now so I don't get in trouble. It doesn't make any sense. Someone is playing a game with me, you know. I'm only a victim here, just like Hannah. Trust me. I wouldn't necessarily say I'm a victim. I'm not a victim of anything other than just being dragged into this, but I wouldn't even say I'm a victim because I could have easily just like ignored everything, right? So I wouldn't necessarily say I'm a victim. But someone is playing a game with me. It's not. Look, Alan, you're just gonna have to trust me. You just have to. After all, I trust you too. Then we'll be done with this nightmare very soon. Both very true. I do trust Alan, but I don't think that's a good reason why he should trust me. Just because I trust him, that isn't a good reason why he should trust me. But if he trusts me, and we find Hannah, then we'll be done with this nightmare. But then he might respond back. He'd be like, "No, we're not going to be done with this nightmare because I'm pulling you in for questioning." Because we have to come down, we have to figure out exactly what happened. But that's fine too. We'll still be done with the nightmare of Hannah being missing. So I'm gonna go with that. Broly says Alan got on my nerves in this chapter. He's getting on my nerves right now. I should tell Alan, like, after this, you need to resign, and I get to be the chief of police. This is crazy, and yet I find myself stumbling through the forest following your orders. That's because I'm right. Tell me something about yours. Ooh, can we get to know Alan? Is Alan going to even tell us something about him? Do we even have pictures of Alan? No, he has it set to private. Apparently, he doesn't trust us that much. Look, Alan, tell me something about yourself. About who else, Alan? Very well. If you're interested, I am very interested. My family originally comes from Grove Springs. I went to college there and underwent my training. One day on the way to work, I met this gorgeous woman in the subway. His soon-to-be wife, probably his future ex-wife. Before I knew it, I married her, pulled up my stakes, and got myself transferred to Duskwood. A year later, we got divorced. Oh, it's his future ex-wife. I didn't mean it. I didn't. I didn't actually mean future ex-wife. That's just what I always call the pretty girls that I see. My future ex-wife, just like Jesse's my future ex-wife. A year later, we got divorced. She took both my dogs. Oh, that's terrible. Half of what few savings I had, and I never seen her again. But I stayed here in the sleepiest, strangest place in the world. That's terrible. That's a horrible story. Great story. I gotta tell Alan that was a great story. Wow, what a magnificent, happy ending. Maybe because you fit in this place perfectly. Look, I'm sorry to hear that, Alan. That's terrible. Honey Bear says, yes, you did, tongue tied. I swear you wrote Duskwood. I might know more about Duskwood than you guys actually think I do. I swear I did not write Duskwood. And I swear this is the very first playthrough. Otherwise, I mean, it wouldn't make sense, right? Because like we all know that like I can't live stream yesterday and then play through the entire episode 10, restart from episode 1, play all the way through that. It takes way too long to do all that just to be able to live stream the very next day. So you guys know this is 100. This is legit. This is 100% legit. I haven't seen this before you before you guys. I promise. It wouldn't make sense that I would see it anyways because it would take way too long for me to replay the entire game just to get back up to episode 10. It's all ancient history now. Have you ever been to Duskwood? I have not, unfortunately. But I would like to go. Yes, a few. Have you ever been to Duskwood? A bunch of times. Why do you want to know? Unfortunately, look, I haven't been there yet. I would like to. I would like to get back. Girl to lost soul. He might be the man without a face. Oh, maybe I am. I have a knack for playing the bad guy in games. If you don't already know, I may be voicing one of the characters in the game The Healing. If you haven't already played it yet or heard who I might actually be, but I am one of the characters in The Healing. I'm actually voicing a gaming character. It's really cool. I actually have a couple lines I have to do tonight, but awesome experience. Okay, so no, unfortunately not. I have not been to Duskwood. Then you don't really know what I mean by strange. Not exactly, but I mean, I've been playing this for a long time. I've been talking with the group for a long time. They've kind of told me a bit about strange stuff. Believe me, I know. That's probably for the best. Once you finally made Duskwood a safe place, I'll come and visit. Alan, once you've made Duskwood a safe place, I'll come visit. But until then, you can make sure that I'm not going to be there. That's kind of until you do your job, Alan, then I'll come visit. But look, I kind of know. I kind of already know a little bit about Duskwood just through Jesse and Thomas and the whole group, Dan, all of them. Let's talk about Michael Hansen. I'm telling you, it's not. There's no way it's Michael Hansen. I understand it was at Michael Hansen's house. I understand that we're tracking Michael Hansen's phone. I understand that all of this is being directed towards Michael Hansen. But that's the reason why it's not, right? It's too easy to say this is Michael Hansen because everything's pointing at Michael Hansen. So it's definitely not Michael Hansen. It took longer for the topic to come up than I had anticipated. You know, he's one of the main suspects in this whole thing. I know you interrogated him 10 years ago. I've just been waiting for the right moment. Look, I've just been waiting for the right moment to talk to you about Michael Hansen, Alan Bloomgate. Well, you've missed that moment by a couple of years, 10 to be exact, because Michael is dead. How could it be Michael Hansen if he's dead? Don't be sure about that. But maybe he'll tell us how he died. Or do we already know how he died? I don't remember if we know that or not. No, it's like I said. And he just became all the more important for my investigation. I actually expected him to be dead. Don't say anything. Look, I expected Michael Hansen to be dead because I know he's not the man without a face. And you can't be the man without a face if you're dead. But I didn't. Did I expect him to be dead? I can't remember if we knew he was dead or not. And he just became all the more important for my investigations. I expected him to be dead. That's why I asked. You're kidding, right? How did he die? That's where I wanted to get to. That's what I wanted to get to. How did he die? The two of you were friends, weren't you? You led the investigation 10 years ago. How did he die? That's what I'm kind of curious about. Yusef, welcome back. It's been a while since I've seen you. Hey, Tongue Tied, it's been a while. It has been a while. It's great to see you again. Counter question. Why did you contact Iris Hansen? Because I suspected her. I was hoping for information, plain and simple. Everything that I did was to try to get as much information as possible. Little Peanut, welcome. Great to see you again. And did you get what you were hoping for? Iris, we did learn a little bit of something about from talking with Iris. We learned about that night and how Hannah was not alone. Hannah wasn't alone that night. And we also learned that through her note. I don't know if it was a poem, if it was just like a note that she wrote. She had like that guilty feeling note that she wasn't alone. But didn't she also say, I'm glad he came with me? Like when Hannah went and talked to Iris, somebody else was with her. But look, I found good information. Everything I did, I found good information, Alan, because I know how to do a detective's job. I know how to solve crime, Alan. Unlike yourself. Should we throw Jesse under the bus? It wasn't me that went and talked to Iris. It was Jesse. I mean, when I say I went and talked to her, or I contacted her, or I got the info. I'm saying I as in like the group, like we. It's more we than it is I. But I kind of guess I was pulling the strings. I was a bit of the puppet master, telling Jesse to do this and telling Thomas and Dan and Phil and and Richy to do all these things. So I guess we as a group did this, but not necessarily I. But it was Jesse that went and talked to her. But at your behest, right? Because I was pulling sort of, probably. I don't remember. I can't remember if we told Jesse to go talk to her or not. This all happened so long ago. Sort of. I'm just gonna go sort of because I don't remember exactly. Life broke Michael apart. Do you know what that means? Is that something they say where you're from? They don't say life broke Michael apart. They don't say that to me. Or at least I don't never hear of it. But I kind of understand what he means. Like, I get it, but I've never heard it in those words. So I do understand. Jesse thought of the navigation on her own. Okay, fair enough. I couldn't remember. Eden 8 says we didn't tell her to go. That's fair. I couldn't remember, so I just said sort of because that's like maybe yes, maybe no. Michael disappeared back then. One night, he closed his bar, went home, and was never seen again. Some witnesses claim they saw him going into the forest. But, well, he just disappeared. Did he fall victim to some sort of crime? Did he just disappear? Like, you said he died, but I don't understand why. What do you mean? Like, he just went in there? Did something just never happen from Duskwood? I mean, like a suspect. So, did he just leave Duskwood? Maybe he left, but no, Alan said he died. He went far beyond. So far beyond Duskwood? There was a testament. Michael's old employee found it. I don't understand. Ted Madruga? Phil? It might have been Phil. Phil's the current bar owner. Correct. So Phil found the old testament. Michael had hired him shortly after Jennifer's death. Michael once said to me that none of this would have happened had he only employed the boy earlier. Why? I don't understand that either. Like, I understand that I don't think Phil did anything to Hannah. But how can Michael say that Jennifer's death wouldn't have happened if Phil was hired sooner? That's what I don't get. How would that have changed anything? This all started at the Pine Glade Festival. So how would that have changed anything if Phil was hired beforehand? Lady Bullets, welcome to the stream. Great to see you. Great to see you. I understand. I definitely don't understand. And because then Michael could have left the Aurora to pick up Jennifer. Oh, that makes sense. Because then Jennifer wouldn't have been walking on the side of the road. Michael would have been able to go and pick her up. She would have never gotten hit by a car. That makes sense. That does make sense. Z Viper 314, welcome to the stream. Great to see you. Great to see you back. Mr. Hawkins claimed that it had been his job to open the Aurora that day, which is when he found the testament. Apparently, it had been lying on the counter, as if it had been placed there for him. That is very strange. Right, so as if it was placed there for him. But with the word apparently, he's thinking Alan's saying that like apparently it was left there. So maybe he thinks that Phil just put it there. As if it had been placed there for him. And that's when the trouble started. You were the person Mr. Hawkins called from the prison, isn't that correct? Yes, that is correct. What did you talk to him about? I vaguely remember we talked about Michael Hansen. He wanted to know if everything was okay at the Bar Aurora. He talked about his suspicion concerning his arrest, about his visiting out. He talked about the suspicion concerning his arrest. I do know that. Amanda, you have a great rest of your night. Thanks for joining. Get some rest. Maribel, if you're still here, have a great rest of your night. Good luck at work. Hope work is going well for you. Zaina, welcome to the stream. Zaina, popping in to say hi. Great. Hello. You can trust me, tongue-tied, and I'm in no way interested in hurting you whatsoever. You say that now, but we just had a conversation about how you don't know if you can trust me, but you're saying that I can trust you? I told you that you could trust me, and you were skeptical about it. But now you're telling me that I can trust you. It's a two-way thing here, Alan. It's a two-way road. It takes two of us to tango, and if you want me to trust you, you're gonna need to trust me. You're gonna have to trust me if you want me to trust you. Look, but I'm gonna look. Same here, Alan. I'm gonna let him know. It's if you want me to trust you, you gotta trust me. Anyway, the days passed, and we were unable to find Michael nor his corpse. So you don't actually know if Michael's dead, but you sat there. You said Michael's dead, but you have no proof to show that Michael died. Maybe he just left. Maybe he walked out. He just kept walking. Maybe he built a hut deep in the forest that nobody has found yet. And it actually seemed like the forest had swallowed him alive. All the while, the rumors in Duskwood got louder. Phil apparently knew beforehand that he was named as a beneficiary in the testament. You're saying you thought Phil killed Michael, and is it true? Is that why Phil got arrested? Because you think that Phil killed Michael? You think that Michael being gone or disappearing is due to Phil? Well, the circumstances certainly helped fire those suspicions quite rapidly. Anyway, you can't just pronounce someone dead, not if there's no corpse. Right. So how is it that you don't have a corpse? You don't have a body. So how are you arresting Phil and holding him when you don't have a case? You have no reason. Which was necessary for the testament. There's no corpse, so the testament's null and void. So if he's not dead, then Phil doesn't get the bar as a beneficiary if he's not dead, but he's got to be dead to be able to get the bar and the beneficiary. They're saying that Phil knew he was they're saying that Phil knew he was getting the bar as being part of the beneficiary. So now Phil went and took out Michael so that way he can get the bar. But if there's no body, then there's no way of saying that he's dead. So if he's not dead, then you don't get the bar. But then why did you arrest Phil? Why is he still in jail? So did Alan help out? You wanted to help your old friend Michael? Didn't you, Alan? You helped, didn't you? So which was necessary for the testament? I don't get it. We're just accusing Alan of stuff. You wanted to help your old friend Michael. Testament like will. That's how I'm defining it. That when they keep saying testament, that's how I'm determining it. That's how I'm that it sounds like a will to me. So yeah, Patty asks, that's what I'm thinking. To apologize for never being able to find Jennifer's killer. So Alan arrested Phil for killing or for thinking he killed Michael as a way to apologize for never finding Jennifer's killer. I wonder if Alan actually admits to doing that. Let us talk about the hacker in your group. So we're just gonna ignore anything that we just talked about. He's like, oh, this is getting a little close for comfort. I don't want to tell him all this information. Let's talk about your hacker friend. What about you and your suspicions? I expected as much. He knew you'd be interested in him. Why do you want to talk about him? Why do you want to talk about him, Alan? He's got nothing to do with you. I've made some inquiries. But there's one thing that doesn't quite add up. How did he get involved in all of this? I don't really want to tell him anything about Jake. Like I'd tell you. But I don't want Alan not to trust me. I want Alan to trust me, but I don't want to tell anything to Alan about Jake. But how do I get Alan to trust me without spilling the beans about Jake? Maybe I just don't say anything at all. I can assure you, I don't think you can. His case is in no way part of my range of duties. It's just... what? The connection of someone like him to this small case is, in the even smaller town of Duskwood, is just piqued my interests. His interest in this case is no different than my interest in this case in as far as what Alan believes, right? So, like, why is it that there's two people outside of Duskwood that are involved in this case? Like, I have no actual connection to Hannah or anybody else in this group. Even though Jake is a half sibling to Hannah and Lily, there's no reason for Alan to believe that. He doesn't know that. So in Alan's mind, he just thinks that Jake's another one of me, but has hacker abilities. Then let your interest be piqued. I don't want to tell Alan. I can't. Maybe during the other playthrough. Maybe during the female playthrough, I'll talk to Alan about Jake, but I can't talk to Alan about Jake. I just can't. Look, just allow your interests to be piqued then. Do you even know what you're getting yourself into with the likes of him? So you do have an idea of what he is or what he does. I know all I need to know. What do you mean? What do you mean, Alan? What are you trying to tell me? You're gonna try to trash Jake's name? It's not gonna work. Your question is enough to answer my question. No, it's not. I've told you all I can about Michael. Are you happy now? Can't really say I am. Yes, I am, Alan. Thank you. I'm not sure yet. Look, I'm happy. We didn't learn anything new about Michael. But yes, I'm happy. He was a good man, you know. Was he? In any case, he has a terrible backstory until he tragically lost his daughter. He does have a terrible backstory. I mean, I'm not going to say that he's not a good guy, but I'm not going to say he is a bad guy either. Because I don't think it's Michael. But apparently our main character does believe it's Michael. And what if Michael is still roaming the woods to this day? Looks like Michael really is dead. I don't know, but like, what if he is still roaming the woods today? Like, I don't know. There's no body after all. Maybe he just went into hiding. Look, if there's no body, then there's a possibility of them not being dead, basically. Like, there's no body. Like, you never found the body. Now, is it possible that he died and, like, animals came by, ate him up, and then his bones got buried under leaves and dirt and stuff? Sure, it's possible. And is it possible that you'll never find Michael? Yes, it's possible. But, again, no body? He could still be alive. Alan doesn't believe that. Are you saying that as Michael's friend or as a Duskwood police chief? That's a good question. It's a good question. You saying it because you're his friend, or are you saying it because you know as a police officer? So he's saying the latter. So the fact that he's a Duskwood police chief is why he believes that Michael isn't alive. We're not talking about a couple of days here. We're talking about years. Nobody could hide in the forest for such a long time without being noticed, and completely unprepared at that. And now let us leave this topic behind us. You're giving me a headache. You know, Alan, you're giving me a headache, okay? Hannah called you, didn't she? What did Hannah want from you when she called you? I'm not even going to ask if Hannah called him. I'm just going to immediately say that, like, I'm going to definitely assume, like, hey, I already know Hannah called you because I saw it in her records. So what did she want? Like, plain and simple. Miss Whiplash, welcome, welcome, welcome. Clary, welcome back. Great to see you. How do you know about that? Look, I have my ways. She called you the same day she disappeared. Answer my question first. Look, she called you the same day that she disappeared. And I know. I looked at her phone log because of my hacker friend that I didn't tell you about. That I wouldn't give you any information about. Did she want your help? What did Hannah want from you? She wanted to make a statement, didn't she? Did she want to make a statement? I wonder what the statement, maybe she wanted to make a statement. I really don't know whether I should be angry or impressed. You should be impressed. You should be impressed, Alan. I keep telling you, I'd be a better police chief than you anyways. You should be 100%. You should be signing me up. You should be asking me, begging me to come to Duskwood to be your deputy. I mean, even though me being your deputy, you'd probably learn more from me than I would from you, Alan. But you should still be like begging for me to be to at least join the force. As long as you tell me what Hannah wanted, Alan, I need to know. Look, I need to know, Alan. I need to know. According to Miss Dawnfort, there was a man who had been following her for some time. Did Hannah mention a name, a man by the edge of the forest? Did the man wear a mask by any chance? Did Hannah mention a name? And did it start with an R? And did it sound like Richy? I mean, she didn't really tell me anything. Okay. It's time for Alan to retire. Yes, tongue-tied to protect Duskwood. Yes, I could be the new police chief. Nothing like this would ever happen under my watch. It just wouldn't. So she didn't really tell me anything, but she asked me a strange question. If she brought me a receipt, and I mean a regular receipt you'd get at a checkout, would I be able to find the buyer who received this receipt? If they paid in, if they paid using a credit card, you could. If they paid using cash, then you'd have to use that receipt, find the date and the time, and hope that the store has cameras that you can then use the receipt to determine what time and day that they went and bought it, and then use those cameras to pinpoint the person. So you technically could, either way, whether they use credit card or cash. Did you ever get to see this receipt? So Hannah had something up her sleeve against her pursuer, and what did you say? Did you ever see the receipt? I've really told you enough. Besides, we have to end our conversation. Why? I've reached the waterfall. Okay, good reason. We were just getting to the good stuff, Alan, but I get it. You reached a waterfall. What do you see? I'm glad to hear that. Very good. What do you see? What do you see, Alan, at the waterfalls? I'm going to need some time to look around here. After all, you didn't give me a precise location, and it's not exactly made easier by it being so dark. You brought a flashlight, right? I would assume you would bring a flashlight. That's like a very important tool of police chiefs or police in general is have a flashlight, especially when it's dark. Look thoroughly, be careful. Okay, please let me know once you're finished. Look, be careful, Alan. I still want you to be safe. Oh, Alan's calling me. Is he gonna show me what's going on? Oh, I can't wait.
So,
No.
I have looked as thoroughly as I could, and
You there for 2
I'm afraid I have
seconds.
to tell you that there is absolutely nothing here.
Bullshit.
You hear? There's nobody here. No Hannah Donford, no kidnapper. It's just me and the crime scene tape I put here.
You looked for 2 seconds. You went offline, online, and then called me and said there was nothing there. You looked for 2 seconds. How could you be so sure? I just told you to be careful, and you went and called me and said there was nothing there. You didn't even look. You blinked your eyes and said, nope, don't see shit. I shouldn't have come here. You know what? I guess I got to do this on my own. I guess I just have to come to Duskwood on my own and go look around. What are you freaking talking about? Of course you should. Don't give up, Alan. Oh, he's upsetting me. He's upsetting me. I don't. It's like, what are you talking about? Don't give up. Or should I be encouraging? I'm upset, but should I be encouraging? Don't give up, Alan. I know there's something there. I should be like, what? Just straight drill instructor to him. What the hell is your problem? Look, don't give up, Alan. I'm gonna. Maybe he needs the words of encouragement. Maybe that's what he needs. Alan is almost as bad as Thomas. Please keep looking. Hannah has to be there somewhere. The culprit probably noticed you. Look, keep looking. Don't. There's got to be something. There's got to be something there. I'm going back to the station. You quitter. Good for nothing. The hell? You're going to regret this. Okay, but look, you're going to regret this, Alan. Clearly you didn't look around good enough. Oh, well, nobody as bad as Thomas. Deus says, hand your badge to Chief Tongue Tie. You should. You should. I'll hand it over, Alan. I'll take your badge right now. All right, let's talk to the group. I think we were wrong. Alan is going back to the station. Thomas is going to go. Thomas is going to go look. Alan's going to see Thomas, then lock Thomas up or something. I don't know. All right, I'm going to be honest with the group. I know Thomas is going to be like, all right, my turn. And Thomas is going to go over there and blink his eyes too and be like, nope, he's right. There was nobody here. Where'd this guy get his badge from? A cereal box? It's certainly seems like it. Right from a Cracker Jacks box or something. It's probably made of plastic or cardboard. There was nothing at the waterfall. Hannah wasn't there. I don't want to say either one of these. I'm not going to say Hannah wasn't there because we know Hannah's there. I'm sorry, maybe he'll go back during the day. Alan won't ever trust me again. Maybe he'll go back during the day. Maybe. I doubt it. I think by then it might be too late. He needs to go back now. He needs to look harder. He didn't look for more than 2 seconds. I just thought I'd let you know. I'll try to think of something else. I hope you're not. Look, I'm gonna try to think of something else. Look, I'll drive there myself. I will. I'll do it. Jake's here. Let's see what Jake has to say. I am sorry that everything did not go as you hoped as it would with Alan. Me too. I'm sorry too. So am I. I don't know what else to do, Jake. But Alan's background noise was identical. We were wrong about... I didn't even... To be honest, I wasn't even paying attention to his background noise. Did we hear the waterfall in the background? We were wrong about the waterfall. I'm not saying we were wrong about the waterfall. We definitely weren't. Contacting Alan was a mistake. Did we hear... I don't... Can I go back and listen to Alan's thing? I can. We're going to listen. We're going to try to see if we can actually hear the waterfall in the background. Maybe if Alan didn't actually go to the waterfall, I am going to be pissed. He claimed he was going to go. He probably never went. And he just stood in his office trying to get information out of us. If we don't hear the waterfall in the background, I'm going to be upset.
So,
oh, he's lucky I hear
I
it.
have looked as thoroughly as I could, and I'm afraid I have to tell you that there is absolutely nothing here.
I can hear it.
There's nobody here. No Hannah Dunford, no kidnapper. It's just me and the crime scene tape I put here.
Yeah, you're lucky, Alan. You're lucky. I heard the water. I could hear the waterfall in the background. The background noise was identical. He's lucky. Not exactly the same as it did with Michael. He was on the right track. He was on the right track. I don't like throwing Michael's name out there because we don't know it's Michael. Like, I know main character is supposed to believe it's Michael, but I don't. I can't say I know for a fact, but I feel it in my bones that it's not Michael. and even though we haven't heard or seen nor hair or hide of Richy, I feel it in my bones that it's Richy. In my brain, in my heart, in my stomach, every cell of my body believes it's Richy. And like I was saying before, we never found Richy's body. We had a video of him, quote unquote, dying, but we never found a body. So he could very well possibly be alive. But then again, we haven't found Michael Hansen's body either. But I feel it in every fiber of my being that it's Richy. I can't give it up. I've sussed Richy more from the second that he's died than I think anyone ever has. I've been so sus on Richy, and I've never let it up. I've never been swayed otherwise. And I'm pretty certain. I'm pretty accurate with my predictions. I've been pretty accurate with my other well, not so accurate. When we played The Sign, I sussed Kruger a lot, and Kruger ended up being super innocent. But I sussed him from like the second he spoke. I sussed Kruger from the second he spoke, but he ended up being a little innocent. A lot innocent. Incredibly innocent. But Richy? No. Richy is sus, and I won't give it up. But look, we're on the right track. Or Alan was on the right track. I also noticed that. So Jake was listening in, I guess. Perhaps Michael had already left the Grimrock before Alan arrived. I don't think so. I mean, I don't understand. I don't know the time frame. I don't know the time space like when things happen to the point when we find out. Like, I don't know how much time has passed, but I'm assuming not very much time has passed because we're still a day before the Pine Glade Festival. So it couldn't have been a whole long time. So I don't think Man Without a Face changed position already. There's no way. He's just somewhere there hiding. He might not have saved Hannah by sending... We might not have saved Hannah by sending Alan to the Grimrock. But during your conversation, I had a look around his computer. Oh, you spied in on his computer, did you? What did you find? What are your chances of Alan noticing what you've done? What did you find? We already know that Jake is a professional, and we don't have to worry about Alan finding out. See, I'm not alone that I thought Kruger was suspicious. Clary even thought Kruger was... Me and Claire, we had the same thought process. We were sharing ideas. ESP-like ideas, and we thought it was Kruger from the very beginning. The second he opened his mouth, I thought it was Kruger, but it ended up not being Kruger. Alan has already begun with this investigation into the Amy Bell Lewis case. I'm uncertain of the time, but he has already been to her apartment. He recorded his thoughts with a dictaphone. A dictaphone? That's sus. He recorded his thoughts with a dictaphone while he was looking around. Maybe I'm pronouncing that wrong, but when I hear of the word dictaphone, a different picture pops up into my head than probably should. Dictaphone. Dictaphone. What the hell's a dictaphone? Can somebody can you explain to me what a dictaphone is? Do you put your to the phone, and is that a dictaphone? That's what I thought it was. That does sound interesting. Right. Sounds super interesting. You got those recordings. How very convenient. You got the recordings, Jake. I'm kind of not sure I want to hear his dictaphone recordings. Oh my god. His dictaphone recordings. I don't know if I want to hear them. It's going to sound like... I can't say it. I can't say it. I'm not going to say it. Is this what a dictaphone is? Arrival at Miss Lewis's apartment. We can pause it, skip it. Can we listen to each one of these? Oh, that's cool.
Arrival at Miss Lewis' apartment at 7:38. The victim's apartment is on the ground floor. Nobody has entered since the body was found. I am therefore able to get an unaltered, precise impression.
So we can listen to each one of them. See, even Miss Whiplash says, I'll never not picture a Peter to a phone when I see it or hear that word. Right. It's a dictaphone, right? This isn't what I was expecting. They should have just said recorder. Actually, no, I take that back. They should have said dictaphone because that's a way better word. Put your dick to the phone.
Arrival at Miss Lewis' apartment at 7:38. The victim's apartment is on the ground floor. Nobody has entered since the body was found. I am therefore able to get an unaltered, precise impression.
April says, doesn't look like any D's I've ever seen before. I just happened to look up and I saw that while I was trying to listen to this dictaphone and press the button for next. Yeah, we are.
Arrival at Miss Lewis'
Oh,
apartment at 7:38.
that was the same thing, wasn't it? All of them work. Oh, I got it. Thanks, Clary. I appreciate it. We just listened to the same message twice. And to be honest, I was looking at chat and I didn't even, I didn't even pick up that was the same exact message. Appreciate it.
Before
All the
I'm
buttons
able to
work.
enter, I am faced with an unusual sight. Something has been drawn onto the front door with a dark red substance.
It's a dick.
That substance is most likely blood. The shape that was drawn closely resembles a
Phallic.
crow. Somehow, this seems familiar.
So it was definitely the crow marking. Definitely the crow marking. He says it was most likely blood. And I think it's important for him to. I mean, yes, you have to share your ideas on this dictaphone. Excuse me. You have to share your ideas to this dictaphone, but I don't know if you want to say like it is most likely, or you can say it resembles, but you don't want to say it is blood or is most likely blood because you don't really know, and that could probably be kind of thrown out in court, maybe. I think because I don't, maybe not. I mean, he is just sharing his thoughts on it and from what he's actually physically seeing. But now let me ask you this: like, we're still, I this was Amy Bell Lewis's apartment, right? So pretty recent. What year is this all occurring in Duskwood that we're still using a dictaphone and not like, I don't know, a GoPro, like an actual video recording? We're using dictaphones, and I don't know what year this is supposed to take place in, but let's say, for example, 2022, we're using dictaphones to record our thoughts about a crime scene. I will say though, I'm still happy that they're using dictaphone. I'm probably gonna get demonetized by how many times I've said dictaphone. They're behind times. No.
The apartment appears to be clean and tidy. All windows are closed. The trash has been taken out. There aren't any lights on. Miss Lewis is the only person registered under this address, and so far I found nothing that would indicate any other. Something tells me that things aren't as they seem.
Springtrap Beauty says, why not use his phone? I mean, he obviously has a smartphone. Maybe Alan has a smartphone. He's got a phone. It might be a flip phone. But then again, I have a phone. I have a flip phone. I've got the I've personally went back in time and purchased a flip phone. Now granted, it's a new flip phone. It's the Galaxy Z Flip, but it's definitely a flip phone. I've got the high-tech flip phone. But I'm kind of curious as to what time frame this is. I feel like it's modern times, but again, we're using dictaphones, and instead of using actual video, and I feel like a video recording would be more concrete evidence, right? Because anyone can go into a place with a dictaphone and speak their mind, saying they're seeing things that aren't actually there, right? Like you could easily lie on a dictaphone and say that you're seeing something that you're not actually seeing. But you can't do that with a video recording unless you're like crazy awesome at editing videos and adding stuff in. So maybe Jake could do it, but I doubt Alan could do it. But instead, Alan wants to use dictaphones.
I have finished my first inspection. I could not find anything suspicious at first glance. However, the body was only taken to the forest after she had already died. I assume this to be a message from the killer. I must continue my search if I want to understand this message.
The other thing I'm seeing here too is that Alan uses pieces of scrap paper and tape to chapterize each message in this dictaphone, right? Do we not have label makers anymore? Where's the label maker? It's easier and you don't have to use a piece of tape. But now I'm just being picky. I like the way that the scrap paper and tape looks. It just looks better that way. If it was just actual straight white pieces of label maker, then it wouldn't look as cool. So I do I'm just talking, but I do like the way it actually looks with the scrap paper and the tape. I actually love the way it looks, but now that we're on like this topic of the fact that like maybe they're living in the past, I see this, I'm like, it's definitely doesn't feel modern. But I think somebody mentioned, it might have been even Clary mentioned that like maybe it's because Duskwood's such a small town in the middle of nowhere that they just don't have access to modern technology. Maybe there's certain things that maybe Alan is just old school. Maybe Alan has used the dictaphone his entire life and just feels comfortable using it. Whereas me, I would prefer a video. I don't know if I would prefer a dictaphone.
There is a small safe in the bedroom closet. Easy to see once the doors are open. The safe is locked and appears to be undamaged. It seems like nobody attempted to force it open.
How do you hack a cassette tape? Oh, I see what you're saying, Patty. I maybe it's a good question. How do you hack a cassette? So this is here's my theory, and I just came up with it. So Alan uses a dictaphone. We know that now. We know that he uses a dictaphone. And he uploaded said recordings to his awesome computer that's very high tech. And Jake, knowing that he uploaded it, but how do you upload a cassette tape to a computer? You'd have to like, huh? I don't know, Patty. I don't know how you upload cassette tapes to you'd have to somehow record the noise, the that it's making, so the words, and you'd have to record the message using a different recorder, then upload it to your computer. And then now Jake has access to those, but Jake knows that, don't know how he knows that Alan uses a dictaphone, but then he's just like, hey, listen to this, and he just adds, maybe Jake has a dictaphone app that he was able to then import the messages on, and I don't know. Patty, that's a great question. I can't come up with a good answer for it. How do we hack a dictaphone? I'd love to know. Jake is just going to have to tell us somehow.
There's an envelope on the nightstand. Let's see what's inside it. Even though CSI is going to kill me for this. No address whatsoever. The envelope had obviously been sealed, but has been carefully opened again. Where's the letter? I have finished my second inspection. No sign of the letter from her bedroom, or anything else suspicious. What in the world happened to you, Miss Lewis?
So Honey Bear says dictaphones are devices with software that connect to the computers with the same software. It's not a cassette. maybe we have a very modern but old dictaphone that Alan's using. He's like, I love using dictaphones, but I need it to be a little bit more modern, but I want to use the same cassette tape. So maybe what we can't see is on the sides or even on the bottom. There maybe is a USB port that you can connect the USB to your PC, and then when you press play, it will transfer all of the messages over. Maybe, I don't know, but definitely a cassette here. Anyways, we listened through all that. So now that we've listened through all that, which I don't know how much I actually paid attention to, 'cause I was actually responding to everyone else, but responding to you guys. But I listened to all of them. Good. You can listen to the recordings whenever you like. You can find them on my profile. Right. I figured we could. Right there. Alan's recordings. Okay, Jake, I know. I'm sorry. I just wanted to make sure that we could find it. Very well. I would like to hear your thoughts on these recordings. I have a lot of thoughts on these recordings. First of all, why are we still using dictaphones? Of course, we should talk about them immediately. Can I have a little more time to think about it? Well, he didn't exactly find out a lot. He didn't. He has no idea what happened to Amy Bell Lewis, but let's go ahead and talk about it immediately. I don't need any extra time. Let us begin with the first recording. Before Alan could enter the apartment, he made a strange discovery on Amy's front door. It was the crow, the mark of the raven. Right. Amy was marked as well, just like our culprit. Look, Amy, it's clear that Amy was marked, just like everyone else. Kermit, welcome to the stream. It's been a while since I've seen you, Kermit. And great to see you again. Since when is Jake gonna reveal his face? Duskwood 2 or 3? Is there gonna be a Duskwood 2 or a 3? What is it, tongue-tied? Amy didn't wipe away the symbol. Nothing. I mean, that's true. Amy didn't wipe away the symbol. Unlike Richy, I just noticed. Richy did clean the symbol off. Richy also painted his own symbol and then cleaned. He did paint his own symbol and then cleaned it off. But what about Jessie? Did Jessie ever clean off her symbol? I remember when Jessie got marked. It's a very good observation. Of course it is. The jam genius. Jake is cheating on us all. Perhaps she wanted to go to the police and thus treated the marking as a piece of evidence. Maybe. Could Amy maybe have drawn the symbol herself? That's what I think. Maybe she wanted to show Hannah, or she didn't have time. She could have. Why would Amy draw the symbol on her own door? That doesn't make any sense. Why would Amy draw the symbol on her own door? I don't think it's a good response. That's what I think. Maybe she wanted to show Hannah, or she didn't have time. Maybe she wanted to show Hannah. Maybe she saw all this happening and she needed to reach out to Hannah. I suppose that's possible. Maybe she wanted to show Hannah. Also a possibility, right? She either wanted to go to the police or she wanted to show Hannah. If Amy and Hannah had something to do, both had something to do with Jennifer's death, which is what we were assuming and coming kind of like to the conclusion of, maybe Amy wanted to show Hannah that she got marked, and that's very possible. Alan found an empty envelope in Amy's bedroom. The envelope had been sealed, but also opened again. Did Amy or the culprit open it? I would assume it's the culprit. Maybe. I don't know. Could it have been Amy? Could it have been the culprit? I would assume it's the culprit. I don't know who else it would be other than Amy or the culprit. It wasn't Alan. We knew that from his dictaphone. Even though we didn't have video evidence that he didn't open it, but we had verbal evidence that he claims he didn't open it from his dictaphone. And whoever opened it took the letter. Maybe the letter, maybe if Amy and Hannah had something to do with Jennifer's death, maybe the letter was admission of guilt by Amy. Maybe she was writing her thoughts and her feelings about everything, being that the 10-year anniversary was right around the corner. So maybe she was admitting to it in this letter. Maybe the letter had some other evidence in there. Maybe Amy said there was other people involved, and so the person who kidnapped Amy took the letter because maybe the culprit is also part of the incident with Jennifer. Is it possible that there was more than just Hannah and Amy? Could there have been a third or fourth person? Maybe. What do you think? Why did this envelope have neither an address nor a return address on? No address? Why would somebody write a note about their thoughts about something tragic that happened that they caused? Maybe Amy was thinking about possibly taking her own life and wrote this as her own testimony or her own thoughts of why she's doing what she's doing. Like her guilt is eating her up so much that she now wrote everything. It's like her own little, note before she deletes herself, maybe. It's an interesting question. The letter was delivered to Amy personally. Maybe Amy didn't have time to write an address on the envelope. Amy wrote the letter herself. To be honest, I can't think of anything. Maybe Amy wrote it herself. Why else would there be there's no name, there's no address, there's no nothing. It's just a letter inside of a blank envelope. Maybe Amy wrote it herself as a way of letting everybody know why she took her own life. And it could have probably had something to do with the incident involving Jennifer and anyone else that might have been involved. And so the culprit took her and the letter. It's very possible, right? So Amy wrote the letter herself. Clary, welcome to the Onyx Tether, Clary. It's great to see you. So Clary just joined as a member on the Onyx tier, strengthening her tethered. That's great to see you. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Claire, you should be able to see a lot of cool benefits. I can already see that you have your awesome badge next to your name. You'll have access to some really cool custom emojis. Definitely check them out, Clary. You also get an invitation to the Tongue Tied Games community chat on Discord, as well as some awesome member-only live streams. We've had some member-only videos. We've also released videos for members only to give members a like their own time to be able to watch the videos first, like early access. That's what I was thinking of. We've had early access to videos for members, but it's awesome. Great. Thank you very much, and welcome as a member. Thank you very much for joining. It's great to see you. Already checking out them emojis I see. That's awesome. So I'm thinking that Amy may have wrote the letter. So I'm starting to think that maybe Amy was about to take her own life, and she wrote the letter to explain why and everything that happened between that incident involving Jennifer. That's what I'm guessing. She wasn't planning on sending it. I don't think she was planning on sending it. I think she was planning on leaving it there for whenever they found her, and then they found the letter. An interesting and plausible conclusion. So what do you think, Jake? I'd like to hear what Jake has to say about it. It'd be nice to hear. Well, my interpretation is exactly the same as yours. Of course it is, Jake, because we're one and the same. We are one and the same. Amy wrote the letter herself. The culprit found the letter and then proceeded to take it with him. Right. Winky face. I want to send the winky face, but which means we must be right. Look, if Jake and myself came to the same conclusion, how could two geniuses be wrong? How can two jam geniuses be wrong about the same exact thing? It's just not possible. So it must be right. We must be absolutely right. So let us continue. Okay? The smiley face. Jake's sending his smiley face. I love it. I'm sure you remember the comment Alan made concerning the positioning of Amy's body. I don't. Does anyone else remember? Maybe Jake will tell me. I don't remember exactly about the comment maybe about Amy's positioning of her body. According to Alan, Amy was only brought to Jennifer Hansen's memorial site after she had already died. We have already talked about this in the past, and Alan also saw a deeper meaning behind this. So, Jennifer died before she was brought to Hannah's memorial site. So she was moved afterwards. She passed and she was moved. He saw the message the murderer wanted to convey and tried understanding it. Right. So yeah, she was definitely moved. She died, whether she was killed or whether she took her own. But then was moved to Hannah's memorial. Sorry, not Hannah's, Jennifer's memorial. And the culprit, man without a face, wanted to connect the two because Amy had something to do with Jennifer's death. You're right, and that's why I still believe. When did we talk about this? I think Alan was wrong. Yeah, I think he's right. What would that point be? He wanted to hide his tracks. He wanted to make a connection between Amy's death and Jennifer's accident. Yes, perfect. It's exactly what the culprit wanted to do. Astrael's Echo, welcome to the streams. Great to see you. Great to have you here. Exactly. Without the body's positioning, we would have never made the connection to Jennifer and, by extension, to Hannah. So, who would have an interest in taking her body to the monument? Man without a face. Ted Madruga. Could it have been Hannah, Michael Hansen, somebody we don't know yet? I mean, we do know Richy, but we don't know that it is Richy. I mean, I think it's Richy. I'm sussing Richy until I'm proven wrong. But you could also say it could potentially be Michael Hansen again. You could. But I'm thinking maybe somebody we don't know. Because I don't think it's Michael Hansen or Ted Madruga. I believe we do know this person. This approach suits our main suspect perfectly. Michael Hansen. See, I knew you were going to say that, Jake, but I don't think it's Michael Hansen. With Amy's body besides Jennifer's monument, he sends an unmistakable message. However, according to Alan, Michael Hansen is no longer with us. Right. According to Alan, Michael Hansen's dead, so it couldn't have been Michael Hansen. I would like to hear your opinion on this matter. He could still be our culprit. I think Michael really is dead. Alan and Michael were friends. I don't know if Michael is really dead. That's the only thing. There's a lot of assumption that he is, but I don't know if he actually is. Jake's definitely convinced it's Michael Hansen. Right, Clary. He definitely is. I don't think it is. But I don't know if Michael is actually dead. But I do know Michael and Alan were friends. I do know that. I do know that Alan and Michael were friends. I'm sure Alan knows a lot more. So I don't know if we can trust what Alan said about Michael. I have a feeling Alan just knows more about it. That's my guess, is that Alan knows a bit more about Michael Hansen and his disappearance. I don't think if Michael did all that, I don't think Alan would cover for Michael, is what I'm saying. I don't think he would just cover for Michael. But I don't know. It's so hard to, because they are friends. But I don't know. If Alan was taking his chief of police duties responsibly and honestly, he wouldn't just cover for Michael Hansen just because they're friends. But I think Alan knows more than what he leads himself to believe. You may be correct. I think I am. I might be completely wrong. I might be so off base with everything I'm saying and just confusing myself and anyone else that's listening that, who knows? I have no idea. But you may be correct. The possibility that Michael is merely been hiding for all this time is still there, with a false identity, perhaps in a different city or even another country. Right. It is a possibility. There's nothing saying that he didn't just go hiding somewhere and like Jake said, change his identity and then come back and exact revenge for Jennifer. But I don't think it's Michael. You're not going to persuade me, Jake. I understand what you're doing. I know you're trying to persuade me into thinking it's Michael, but it can't be. It's not. It's Richy. I just know it. I feel it. I feel it in my bones. It could be. I think it's extremely unlikely. I think it's more unlikely. I think Richy being the man without a face is more likely than Michael Hansen, especially if Michael Hansen's dead. I can assure you it is not. Seeing how Jake does it every day of his life. He goes to different cities and towns, and he's just completely inconspicuous. Nobody knows who he is or where he's from or anything about him. And he's like, it's not that hard. Jake's like, it's not that hard to hide your identity. Michael Hansen is the perfect scapegoat to pin everything on. I think Alan and Michael declared. I think Alan had Michael declare. I think Michael Hansen is the perfect scapegoat. It's a perfect scapegoat to pin everything on. And I think that the real man without a face, the real culprit is doing just that. The father of a dead child who disappeared in the woods because he's dead, including the abandoned house. Yeah, the father of a dead child who disappeared in the woods. It couldn't be any more fitting. He's basically the legend. He basically is the legend. That's what they're trying to pin everything on is this legend, and trying to convince everyone that it's Michael Hansen. You are absolutely right, tongue-tied. Of course I am. I think Alan had Michael declared dead as well to do his friend one final favor. That is why he is so deflective when it comes to the topic of Michael. Right, he is pretty deflective. He's like, no, it can't be Michael. He's dead. But do you have a body? He's like, no, I don't have a body. Well, then he can't be dead. Well, at least you can't be 100% certain that he's dead. And Alan's like, no, he's 100% dead. But you don't have a body. No, I don't have a body. Why would I have a body? He ran off into the woods. But then you don't know that he's dead. He's dead. Yes, I believe that is quite likely. Okay. I think we have covered the most important topics. I agree. I'm more confused than ever. I'm pretty confused, but I'm not more than ever. I'm still dead set on the Richy train. Like, I still am. But I agree, we definitely covered everything. Maybe Alan isn't as incapable as we thought. Do you think Hannah knows that Amy is dead? I think Hannah does know that Amy is dead. I think they were maybe they were together before Amy died. I don't know. Maybe Alan isn't as incapable as we thought, but maybe he's not. Or rather, as you thought, rather as Jake thought. He must have some skills to become a police. Look, you've got to have skills to become a police chief. However, I haven't seen Alan display any of them skills, especially not with his searching ability. He didn't search for very long at all. And the fact that he still uses a dictaphone. Which is why I had to look around his computer in the first place. Thank you for your time and your thoughts, tongue-tied. Thank you, Jake. No, thank you. I will attempt to sort out our traces so far and to plan our next steps. Jesse, so good to talk to Jesse. Good, you're here. I've got some news. I'm all ears, Jesse. I'd love to hear it. As you know, I couldn't find anything about an AMC gremlin in the files from Roger's garage. Right, we do know that. She looked through all the files. And as you also know, Roger's garage was the only garage in Duskwood back then. Right. And I thought there was no way the gremlin never ever had to go to the garage. It was the only garage there, so the AMC gremlin had to have gone to Roger's garage at some point in time, if it was the only garage in town. But why is there no information on it? That's the missing that's like the missing puzzle pieces. Like, why don't we have any information on this AMC gremlin? Exactly. I thought the same thing. I just couldn't stop thinking about it. I knew there had been something, or there had to be something. So I had another look at the files after our conversation. Oh, did you find something new? But this time I didn't go through everything cover to cover, but instead concentrated on a specific time, the time of the Pine Glade Festival 10 years ago. So May. Oh, this is how we find out if we're if this is the modern age or not. Look at that. So May 2012. So definitely living in 2022. And our police chief in Duskwood is using a dictaphone. A cassette dictaphone, I might add. So this is definitely May 2012. Is that where we're going with? Exactly. Yes, exactly. So we're definitely in 2022 using a cassette tape dictaphone to record our thoughts instead of an actual video capture device. Why didn't you do that in the first place? Oh, I don't. That's kind of rude. I'm just gonna let her talk. I don't want. I don't want to say something rude to like. Why didn't you do that in the first place, Jesse? Yeah, ditz. No, I would never. The files from Roger's Garage are all consecutively, consecutively. I can't say that word. Consecutively. There we go. Numbered. I couldn't find any anomalies with files 1102 and 1104. But I did find something in file 1103 because that file is missing. You don't say. Of course it's missing. Like, where is it though? Kermit has a crush on Jesse. Who doesn't? If you don't have a crush on Jake, you have a crush on Jesse. If you don't have a crush on Jesse, you have a crush on Jake. I mean, I think that's fair to say. Good find, Jesse. That's very interesting. Look, it's a good find, but tell me more. Miss Whiplash is going to test out some new dictaphone pickup lines and see how they work. All right, Whiplash, hit us with them. Start thinking of them now. I need to hear it. I personally need to hear a dictaphone pickup line. I need it. I need it in my life, Whiplash. Okay, thanks. I told you these files were super important. Of course, I knew they were important. I never doubted you, Jesse. Never in my life. Clary's got a girl crush on Jesse. See? Everybody loves Jessie. She's great. She's absolutely great. But wait, there's more. I took a closer look at the file 1102 and I noticed the paper was a bit uneven. 1102 was a bit uneven. What do you mean by uneven? As if someone had folded the page? Long story short. What do you mean about uneven? Want to go back to your office and speak into your dictaphone? I'm gonna go back into your office and I'll speak into your dictaphone. That's amazing. That's great. It'd work on me. I love it. Absolutely love it. Oh, let me get back to Jesse. Now my eyes are like watering right now. I can't even see the screen. When you press hard enough on the paper while you're writing, you can leave traces on the page behind it. We delivered secret messages to each other in school that way. If you press hard enough on the page. Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. I understand what they're saying. I know what you mean. We did that too. I'm not sure I understand. I never did it, but I know what you mean. You can actually then go back over using the flat part of a um, like a number two pencil, and the message becomes a little bit more clearer. You don't want to press too hard because then it flattens the page back out. But if you go over it nice and lightly with a number two pencil, like the flat part of it, it'll actually bring out the message a bit more. But I do know what you mean. Sorry, your voice is a little faint. Can you speak closer into my dictaphone? Oh, it's another good. What is? Oh, this is the page. Look at. I think she even did it. She went over it with a pencil. Anyway, I got a pencil and it traced over the uneven parts. Jam genius, Jesse. Jam genius. All right. What is this? It's sideways to me. It says Ted Madruga. Why does it say Ted Madruga? It's interesting. Ted Madruga. Ned. It says Ned Madruga. Ned Maduga. Maduda. Look, we all Ed Maruga. What does it say? It says Ted Madruga. We can tell. We can see it. I hate how my voice sounds on the dictaphone. Yes. Haven't you mentioned that name before? Of course, I think so. I've been after Ted for a while now. He's definitely got some connection to Hannah. No, he must be. Look, he's got some connection to Hannah. Hannah went to go see Ted Madruga, or at least attempted to. Or maybe she was successful and she talked to him about something. I bet he does. I'm sure the missing file is that of the AMC Gremlin. 100%. And Ted Madruga signed that exact file. My thing is like, why is that paperwork missing? Why? And who's hiding it? It would have to be Richy or Roger, Richy's dad, the owner of Roger's Garage. But one of them too. It would have to either be Richy or Roger, or not Roger, Paul, right? Richy's father's name is Paul, I believe. Anyways, it'd have to be one of them too. But like, why are they hiding the AMC Gremlin stuff? Like, they had to have had something to do with it. Maybe they're hiding it for Hannah's sake. Maybe they're hiding it for Hannah and Amy's sake. Like they're helping them cover up the the fact that they ran down Jennifer, although an accident. But maybe that's what it is. Like, I don't know. But why is Ted Madruga signing the file? Like, did Ted Madruga pick it up? Which means he is the owner of the Gremlin. The very good find. Is Ted might be the owner of a Gremlin. Did he drop it off to get fixed? Did he sign it to pick it back up? He must have stolen the file. So now we're thinking Ted Madruga stole the file because it would have incriminated him. How though? I mean, yeah, it would incriminate him the fact that like he is the owner of the AMC Gremlin, and they think it was, they know or think that it was the AMC Gremlin that ran down Jennifer. So I guess that would incriminate him. They'd be like, it was your car, so you must have been behind the wheel. So I understand that, but how could Ted have done it when he was in prison? Now, has he been in prison for 10 years? Or did he just recently go to prison? And then if he did go to prison, like, they didn't put two and two together? But Ted is definitely in prison. But Jesse didn't know that. But he definitely is. How sure are you about that? 100%. Pretty sure. Now I'm not sure at all anymore. I'm pretty sure he is. Pretty sure he's probably cellmates with Phil right now. Whiplash says, "I've been shopping around for dictaphones. Can you show me yours so I know which one what I want? Show me your dictaphone. I need to know what a good dictaphone looks like." Maybe he just went. Maybe he just sent someone else to steal the file for him. Tongue-tied. Is this why Richy had to die? I don't know. I don't know. I feel like Richie's not dead, though. Let me think about it. I have to talk to Jake about it. But you did. You know what, Jesse, though? You did really well. You did amazing. You did jam amazing, Jesse. Got to test the product before I buy it. Got to test them dictaphones out. Thank you. Hey, Tongue-tied. Yes. I want to talk about something. I would love to talk to you about something, Jesse. If Jesse said I wanted to talk about something and said your dictaphone, I would have lost it. Could we do that? Could we do that before you go? Of course. I wouldn't want it any other way. I've got this really cool dictaphone that we can talk about. Just learned about what that was. We can be open and honest with each other. I've got this dictaphone. Yes, we can. Absolutely. 100% honest and open. Ugh. This is harder than I thought. We're definitely talking about the dictaphone. And it's not exactly good timing. Oh, this is absolutely about the dictaphone. It can't be that bad, right? It's not that bad. My dictaphone's not that bad. Now you've got me interested. Look, it can't be that bad, right? Tongue-tied's going to get catfished by someone asking about his dictaphone 3 years down the line. It probably. Not even going to lie. I'm a bit scared it might destroy our friendship. I mean, don't be scared. It's not going to destroy our friendship. We'll only find out if you tell me. No, I'm pretty sure that's not going to happen. Look, I'm pretty sure it's not going to happen. Pretty sure the dictaphone's not going to destroy our friendship. So. I have feelings for you, Tongue-tied. Pretty strong feelings. My dictaphone's getting hard. I'm kidding. Oh my goodness. You mean more than friendships? Wow. Smiley face. Oh, I gotta play this right, guys. I gotta play this right. So, Jesse, do you like me or do you like me? Check yes, no, or maybe. All right. I wonder if I should just Oh, do I give the smiley face? Pretty strong feelings. Jesse has pretty strong feelings about me. It's a me problem, not a you problem. It's not me. It's you. I mean, wait, no. It is you. Um, should I just give her the smiley face? Astriel, dictaphone wisely. Now this is where you bring up your dictaphone. I'm trying to work that into conversation. I promise. I think I'm just gonna give her the smiley face. That could mean a lot of things, I think. It doesn't quite mean dictaphone, but it means a lot. You see, really bad timing. It's not though, not really. But it's always a bad timing, or it's always a bad time somehow. Can I tell her, Jesse, I have a girlfriend. It's not bad timing. Can we do this? Look, it's not bad timing. I want to talk about this, Jesse. This is your moment. I know. I can't blow it. This is the moment. On the contrary, this perfect time. So, do you like me or do you like me like me? Do you feel the same way I do? Yes, I do. To be honest, not entirely sure. I'm sorry, I don't. Can't mess this up. Got to make sure I click the right button. Yes, I do, Jesse. I have strong feelings. I'm so relieved to hear that smiley face. This is good. This is good. Me and Jesse we're a thing. I really haven't felt this way in a long time. My last relationship didn't go so well, you know. The last relationship didn't have the right dictaphone. What happened? Would you like to talk about it? Oh, I really have to go. I'm gonna ask Jesse if she'd like to talk about it. She doesn't have to, but if she'd like to, she can. But she doesn't have to. I think so. Okay. I'm all ears, Jesse. I'm all ears. He cheated on me. See? Told you. Didn't have the right dictaphone. He had a terrible dictaphone. After a 3-year relationship. That's sad. I'm sorry to hear that, Jesse. Do you know who she was? How did you find out? Neither question I would like to ask. I guess how did you find out would be a better question than who was she? Who was it that cheated? That did he cheat on? He confessed it to me the day after it happened. The day after? Man, didn't take him very long. Is she talking about Dan? Because remember when her and Dan were like early on, we knew that her and Dan had like a previous relationship. She might be talking about Dan. Astriel says, honestly, this is much better than playing as a female MC and having Dan try to dictaphone his way into my life. it, it seemed too out of nowhere, but Jesse and MC makes total sense. Oh my God, Dan was trying to dictaphone his way into your life. Dan would never. Look, Dan and Jesse had a little thing going on previously, Clary. They did. I just don't know if this is Dan that I hope it's not Dan. Don't get me wrong. I like Dan. I hope it wasn't Dan. Would you have preferred not to know? I see. What an idiot. Well, at least he had a bit of decency. Look, what an idiot. Who could ever? Who could ever? Especially the Jessie, the sweetest girl I've ever known. He also apologized and said it meant nothing. Of course he did. That it was nothing but a mistake. Of course it was. It always means something. Yeah, as if. Look, it always means something. 100%. I don't know if Dan did. I don't think he did. I hope he didn't. I was stupid enough to believe him. The following weeks were horrible. I was torn apart. Yeah, that's understandable. I really wanted to forgive him, but it hurt so much. You can't forgive an affair, so you left him in the end. You did well. I'd assume that she left him in the end. Um, right? You did. You're not still with him. I wish I had. So she's still with him. Instead, I held on to our relationship. It's gotta be Dan. But we just argue all the time. It's Dan. I know for a fact it's Dan now because of everything. Until one day he just didn't come. Oh, okay. No, it's not Dan. It's not Dan. We're good. I guess he realized that his mistake did mean something after all. 100%. Believe me, look, it's better this way. It's better this way. Complete cut off. Cut him off. You don't need to talk to him no more. You don't need to, oh, who, do you know who she, oh, do you know? So we were going to ask who she was regardless. So I guess that's fine. But you don't need that stress. You don't need that frustration. You just cut it off. Got to be happy. You don't need that unhappiness in your life. I didn't want to know. You know how small Duskwood is, so I'm pretty sure I know her. True. And I was scared her name would be burned into my head forever. And you never know, it might be one of your friends. Hopefully that wouldn't happen, but you never know. Could be. I'd still have wanted to know if I were you. I think you made the right decision. That's kind of hard. I mean, you're living in a small town. You don't want to know because you're afraid that, it could be a friend or you see this person every single day. But at the same time, it's like, what if it is one of your friends and and now you don't know? But I think I'm going to say I think you made the right decision. I hope she did. Has anyone ever hurt you like that? Of course I've been hurt. Of course. Haven't we all? It's what we use to help us grow and learn and realize what we truly want as our counterpart. It's how we learn, and it's a terrible way to learn. Don't get me wrong, but through our heartaches and through our experiences with good and bad people. Not everyone's bad, not everyone's good. But through our experiences with good and bad people, we learn about what we feel is precious. We learn about what we like in another person and the type of personality that we want to be alongside us for the rest of our lives. And with those experiences, we know who we want as like our partner in crime, like our life, soulmate. So, I mean, I think everyone goes through it at some point in time, and it's not like it is a bad thing, but it's not like a terrible thing. It's these experiences that are supposed to help us grow and be better and be happier, But long story short, yes. Long story, unfortunately, but I don't want to talk. But I don't want to talk about that. Look, unfortunately, and I think most of us probably do. I mean, I think it's probably more rare than winning the lottery that you find your true soulmate as like your first ever relationship and you've never had your heart broken. I think that's I think that's probably more rare than winning the lottery. I'm very sorry. Nobody should have to go through something so horrible. Okay, enough sad talk. Let's talk about us. Oh, we completely turned around for the better. I want to show you so much when you come here, and I'm sure the others will want to meet you too. There's something I want to show you, Jesse. When I come and visit, there's something I want to show Jesse. And I'm sure the others will want to meet. I'm sure they do. And I would love to meet everyone. I'm sure it's going to be fun. Will you want to share me with the others? It's about time too. Will you want to share me with the others? Of course you would. We're all friends. I'm sure it's going to be look, I'm sure it's going to be a blast. I'm sure it's going to be a hell of a time. Girl with the lost one, his dictaphone. Claire, your dictaphone, right? So much fun. Hee hee. I'm getting nervous just thinking about it. This is all so exciting. I mean, how do we even greet each other when we first meet? We show each other our dictaphones. Or I show you my dictaphone. I don't know. I'm sure we'll figure out a way. I'm sure we'll figure out one way to greet each other when we meet. With a high five, of course, a big hug would be in order. You're in for. Look, Jesse, you're gonna be in for a big surprise. I gotta do it. Blushing face. Okay. I have to go now. Oh, that was very nice. Yeah, yes it was. Yes it was. Oh, you're gonna be in for a big surprise, Jesse. When was the last time we had this much fun? Had this much time for each other? It's been a while. Feels like ages ago. I think the last time we had this much fun, me and Jesse went on our little tour of Duskwood date. I remember that being a lot of fun. And then immediately after, it was ruined by the man without a face when he attacked Jesse. But yeah, it feels like ages ago. April says he really needs to rename this stream to "Show Me Your Dictaphone." I just might have to rename it to "Show Me Your Dictaphone." That would probably be great. I wish it could always be like this. Bye, tongue tied. Oh my goodness. Unknown. Who the hell's unknown? Oh, we're writing unknown? Are we writing to unknown? Unknown added me. The hell are you? Who are you? You're not gonna just add me to a chat and then not answer. Camera 5. Oh, it's sideways. I apologize. That's Hannah and Richy. That is Hannah and Richy. No frickin' way. Wow. So, Richy is definitely not dead. And Hannah is still alive. But where are they? Are they like underground or something? My mind is like blown right now. Hannah and Richy. There's this video. It's making it look like it's recording. It's a video recording them. So they're actively sitting there right this second. Both of them are tied up. Huh. All right. I have a thought in my head. We're gonna sit here and look at these two while we're talking about this, because obviously there's Richy and Hannah. We saw what we thought to be Richy dying. Correct? Right? That's what we saw. It was like at the end of episode 6 or 7. I don't remember which exact episode it was, but that's what we saw. We saw Richy die in the end. What we did not see in that video was the man without a face showing that the man without a face was the one to actively have done that to Richy. Um, which is what was always like the tell for me that the man without a face was Richy, because I thought Richy was faking his death. Now, hear me out about this as well. If the man without a face did attack Richy and now has Richy in his possession, man without a face would have made it very, very, very known that he now has Hannah and Richy. He wouldn't have ignored the fact that he had Richy this entire time. He wouldn't. The man without a face wouldn't do that. He would be like, look, I have two of your people. He wouldn't be like, oh, I only have Hannah. Also, when we listened in on the man without a face taking Hannah to Grimrock Falls, we heard one set of feet walking and what seemed to be probably Hannah being carried. We never heard anything about another person. And how is it that Richy, if Richy was attacked and he was bleeding internally, which has caused the blood to come out of his mouth on camera when we were watching him, how is he, would he just magically healed? You don't just magically heal from internal injuries like that where you're coughing up blood. It doesn't happen. I still think Richy's man without a face. I think he's faking it. I think he's 100% faking it right now. I think he carried Hannah down there. He tied Hannah up. I think he's pretending to be also captured. But this is also a live recording, it looks like. It looks like it's a live recording. The time hasn't reset yet. It started at like, I think 40, maybe 41, but it's up to 45. So this is a live recording. At least that's what it's making it seem like. I still think that he faked his death. And if that's the case, if he did fake his death, then how is he a captive of the man without a face? That wouldn't make any sense either. Like, you fake your death to be captured? Doesn't make any sense. You fake your death because you are the man without a face, and then you make it seem like now you're captured by the man without a face. Because you don't want them to pick you out as the man without a face. You're still super sus. Richy is still incredibly, incredibly super suspicious. Even with him on this, what looks to be like a live recording of him being tied up next to Hannah. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense at all. We only ever heard of one set of feet walking. We heard Hannah. We heard her voice. We heard her make noise. I think Richy is 100% faking it. I think he's absolutely 100% faking. I think he's sitting there with Hannah. The only thing I can't wrap my brain around is the fact that it seems like it's a live recording. I mean, you got the recording in the bottom right corner saying that it's recording. Unless it's a recording of them recording. I don't know. Like maybe this is just a loop. But then the time still ticks up. I haven't seen the time reset at all. So it doesn't look like a loop, but it could potentially still be a loop just with an infinity counter, I guess. I don't know. Or maybe maybe they sat there and recorded themselves for hours doing this, and nobody would sit there and watch this for hours. I mean, maybe they would. I don't know. I don't know. I'm still sus on Richy. It doesn't make sense that he's now a captive of the man without a face. It doesn't make sense. He was supposed to be dead according to what he was supposed to be, right? He was supposed to be dead. So man without a face was to have supposedly killed him. Man without a face would have made it known that he did that. The fact that he's not dead means that man without a face captured him and is now has Hannah and Richy, but that doesn't make any sense either. The only thing that makes sense is that Richy is the man without a face and is pretending to be captured now. And if Richy did fake his own death, you're not going to fake your own death just to be captured by the man without a face. That doesn't make any sense either. What's this about? What happens if we go back into the camera? Will it... Unknown is offline. It's still counting up, I think. We went back into the camera and it was in the 40s. It was like 2340s, but it's at 2350. So it does make it look, it makes it seem like it's a live stream. We'll check back. We'll check back in Unknown. We'll check back to see if that ever resets to make it seem like it's actual a loop recording, but it does look like it makes it feel like it's a live stream, but we'll see. But you guys have to see this. It's important. But we have actual video, an actual video of Richy and Hannah. We have a video of Hannah and the man without a face. Look, I just received something. Send the link. So Cleo just saw it. Dan's online now. Thomas saw it. What happens if we open it up again? 2351. It's still counting up. It's still counting up. And Richy. And we never did find Richy's body. So I was always assuming that he was alive still anyways. So I'm not shocked to see that Richy's alive. Three guesses. All right, I'll tell you where I got this from, but you have to guess. But I think it was from the kidnapper. It was from somebody named Unknown. It was probably from Richy himself. Is Richy wearing the same clothes at the time of his murder? It's hard to tell because the camera quality is not very good. It's dark where they're at. But it's very possible. It's very possible that he is. I don't remember exactly what he was wearing, but it might be the same jacket. But the kidnapper just sent it to me. I'm sure Jesse's super excited to see that Richy's still alive. Yep. Oh my God, Richy. Guys, Richy is alive. Unbelievable. I knew he was alive. Yeah, me and you both, Jesse. I just think he's the man without a face. Is this a live broadcast? It seems like that. It seems, you're right. Well spotted. I think so. What makes it? I think it is, but I don't know. It seems like it does make it seem like it's a live broadcast, but it doesn't make any sense to me. It doesn't make any sense that Richy is captured by the man without a face after we just saw him on camera supposedly die. Yeah, you can see the date in the picture. You can see the date and the time in the picture. Dan finally chimed in. What is this shit? Is he messing with us? I think so. I think he's messing with us. 100%. Clary says he had a blue and white jacket on with a hoodie underneath when he was quote unquote killed. We could actually check. We can actually find out. Through his actual chat. Like we can find out. It's this one right here.
Hey, well, that wasn't just any random scream. There was someone shouting my name, that's for sure. Straight from the forest. Wait a sec. I'll turn on the camera.
We're about to find out if his clothes are different.
All quiet now. What if that was Hannah?
At 100% different.
What if she needs my help?
100% different. That's a completely different jacket.
I saw someone.
And he has light blue jeans on. Now, the jeans might look different in the video just because it might be dark where they're at. So maybe the jeans look darker, but light blue jeans, like almost white, like whitewashed jeans type. Like very, very light.
Hello?
It's definitely different. Paul Hendrick Network, welcome to the stream. It's great to see you again. %, different. To be fair, he could be wearing 2 layers, and I think he is wearing 2 layers. But even the hoodie, the jacket, like the jacket's outerwear. The jacket is completely different. You have a hoodie on underneath this jacket, and there's no hoodie on in that live video, that live recording. And what, he just stops breathing, but then he is back to breathing? So it's definitely... Can I find that link again? Oh, good thing. It's all different. 100% different. Completely different jacket. And I can't tell, but I don't know if he has a hoodie on. Also, if you look carefully, the video is looping, but the counting is going up rapidly. Like the counting is steadily increasing, like the time. It's steadily increasing, but the video itself, if you don't pay attention to the actual 23, 57, 26, if you don't pay attention to the actual numbers going up, if you're only looking at the video, it is looping. So it's possible that this is a loop, but has an overlay showing that it looks like it's being recorded, and an overlay of the date and time, increasing. So it could just be an overlay. Don't worry, they're fine. I'd like to know that too. Oh, Dan, what is this shit? Is he messing with us? What's wrong with them? What has he done to them? I'd like to know that too. He's probably given them some sort of drug. I don't think it's any drug. I mean, if they were knocked out, they wouldn't be sitting upright. They'd be falling over, either sideways or in front of them. Don't worry, they're fine. Look, I'd like to know. I'd like to know too, though. I'd like to know what's going on. Tongue-tied, can you send this to Alan? If he sees this, I bet he's gonna help us, or he's gonna want to help us again. That's a great idea. I didn't even think of that idea because of how incompetent Alan was already. Of course. Didn't even think of involving Alan in on this because of how terrible of a job he already did. I saw what happened. Look at the walls in the background. Right, it doesn't look like trees. It does look like they're like underground or something. Michael's basement? What could it be? Is that some sort of cave? Like, yeah, like a cave, like they're underground, maybe. They're not a normal house, that's for sure. I will try finding information about this stream. Perhaps I will be able to find out where it is being broadcast from. It's a good idea. You guys keep an eye out. Keep an eye on the stream. Please hurry. It's a good idea. I need to talk to Alan. 100% need to talk to Alan. And you please send this to Alan, Tongue-tied. Yes, I will. Jake is offline. Everyone's going to jump offline. No? Just Jake? All right, let me talk to Alan. I have news. Send the link so Alan can see exactly what's going on. The kidnapper just sent this. Those are Hannah and Donfor and Richy Roger. We're currently trying to find out where this is. The kidnapper just sent this to me. I want to make that very clear to Alan that I did not record this and send it to him. I did not set this up. It's very clear that I am not the kidnapper. Guys, there's something back there. What? What do you mean back there? What do you mean there's something back there? In the forest. But it could be on the road too. There's something at the cabin? It's still too far away? That's not good. Maybe just someone going for a walk with a car? I don't think anybody would be just walking randomly out there. That's not good. What do you mean there's someone out there? Maybe it's a neighbor? Are there neighbors there? Do you have neighbors? I don't know. I really can't tell. It looks like a lamp or something. The road leading to our house is a dead end. Yeah, there's no reason anybody would be walking up there. If this person is on the road, they're headed for us. I can't see the light anymore. That's Michael. Lily thinks it's Michael, I'm sure. He's coming to act on his threats. Everyone, please stay calm. That's important right now. Don't make everyone nervous. Look, everyone just needs to stay calm. Stay calm. We don't know what's happening. We don't know if it's Michael. Are you all still in position? Still looking out the windows. Even though the lights are on inside the house. Lily and I are in the downstairs bedroom. Thomas is in the bathroom next door. Dan is in the living room and Jesse is upstairs. This doesn't make any sense. Why would Michael send us the stream and then come here? There. Again. Oh, something happened? It's a lot closer than it was before. That's not good. He's coming. I agree. I think it's Michael. Everyone stay calm. Stay calm. We practiced this already. Dan's ready. Dan's like, it's showtime. Let's go. Dan's like, bring it on. Maybe you should group up, turn off the lights. I think you should group up. Like, everyone get together. No way. Okay. Everyone stay on position. Okay, my bad, Dan. I thought maybe like having everybody in one spot would be better. You can take him by force. You can overpower him with everybody. There, he's here, right in front of us. Oh, Jesse. There's no way this guy is right here. I can't see anything. Oh, that's him holding the lantern. That's his face. It's hard to see, but you can oh yeah, zoom in. Why would the man without a face give away his position like that? Why would he be like, hey guys, I'm right here. I've got this lamp. It's right above my head. Here I am. Like, why would you give away your position? Why are you letting them know? Like, I'm not trying, don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to help the man without a face. I'm just trying to understand his ideology. Why is he standing there with this light announcing his presence? Why would he be doing that? That doesn't make any sense. What the hell is he doing? I don't know. I cannot for the life of me tell. He's waiting. He wants to scare you. He's challenging you. I think he wants to scare you, but at the same time, I would think that he would want to have the element of surprise and scare you that way. I wouldn't think that he would just be like, I don't know, let me show you exactly where I'm at. He's just standing there. I think he wants to scare you, but it's a silly way. It's a silly way to scare you. Well, he can shove it. Love Dan. Shit. That's not enough. I can't hit him from this distance. Oh, Dan's like, he's got his sights on him. If you miss your shot, he'll know you have a weapon. Just try it, then what? If you miss your shot, and that's the thing too. You don't just want to start blasting away, Dan. You don't just want to start blasting away if you don't have a good shot. You just never know. But if you miss your shot, he's going to know that you have a weapon also. You're right. It's just like with her. This is exactly what Hannah said. There's a man standing by the edge of the forest. You're right. You are right, Lily. When you're right, you're right. Marwal, welcome to the stream. He turned off the lamp. I can't see him anymore. So now he's invisible. Bet he saw Dan in the weapon. Don't say anything. Is he gone? There's no way he's gone. Maybe it's so dark. You should turn the lights out in your house. He could be anywhere. What do we do now? Stay on your positions. He's going to try coming in any second now. Hey, Sherlock. What's up, Dan? If this goes wrong, then you're going to have to set something straight for me. What's that? What do you need me to do? What do you need me to do, Dan? I'm curious. I think I can see him. Uh-oh. Dan, hold on, Dan. I'll be right back. I think I can see him. He's on the porch. He's already on the porch, not far away from me. You're joking. What is he doing? Is he trying to break in? I don't know. I'm going out there. Maybe not. Maybe don't. Maybe not a good idea. Go on, Thomas. Get him. Whoop his ass, Thomas. You most certainly will not. I don't think that's a good idea, Thomas. I'm going to just say it's not a good idea. I can catch him unaware. He's very aware. Even Dan doesn't think so. Like, dude, no. Like, just relax. Thomas, such a liability. He really is. He really is. He can't see me. He can absolutely see you. You have the lights on inside the house. He can absolutely see you. You don't know that, which could change at any moment. Look, you don't know that he can't see you. I'm pretty sure he can see you. Cleo can see him too. If he turns around now and leaves, that was it. Thomas, seriously. I'm warning you. Thomas is offline. Thomas is about to screw things up. He's about to mess it all up. And Cleo's about to help. What the hell, Cleo and Thomas? Now Lily is offline. Dan, he's like, fuck. Jesse, she's upset. Oh my God, they went outside. Of course they did. Does anyone have the weapon? Where are you right now? I think Dan still has a weapon. Don't worry, they'll be fine. Look, where are you right now? Upstairs in one of the rooms. I can't see anything outside. Everything is quiet in the house. Why is it so quiet? Shouldn't I be able to hear something? Yeah, I would think. Dan rolling around, maybe. Everybody else is outside, but you should be able to hear Dan rolling around. Can you still see out the window? Jesse, you have to stay calm because they haven't run into each other yet. Just look, Jesse, just stay calm. I hope it's going to be okay. I don't know if it's going to be okay, but I hope it's going to be okay. Freddie, what's going on, Freddie? Welcome to the streams. Great to see you again. I have to help them. Jesse, you don't have to. It's not a good idea. Look, it's not a good idea, Jesse. Just relax. Of course it isn't, but I can't keep hiding here. Tongue-tied. Are you with me? Oh, of course I am. If you're going to ask me that, of course I'm with you. I am. I am, Jesse. I would never leave you, Jesse. I'm not going to leave you. No, I don't even want to answer the phone because something terrible is going to happen. Can't see shit. Can't see anything. Okay, flashlight. Such a nice house. Why is that door wide the fuck open?
Dad? Cleo.
She is completely by herself. Oh, shit! Let's go, Dan! Wax his ass! Oh, he ran. He definitely got hit. He for sure got hit. Yo, Dan, my man. Jesse's okay, though. Oh, shit. Everybody? I should have just said Jesse, but it's okay. Are you okay? Everything's fine. We're fine. Everything happened so fast. Where are the others? I saw everything. What the hell just happened? Something beeped. Dan's online. Dan, not bad, Jack Daniels. Not bad, Jack Daniels. You got him, Dan. I mean, you winged him or something. It looked like you hit him in the arm. You bet I did. Hell yeah. It looked like you winged him, though. It looked like you got him in the arm or something. Because you could see him, he kind of like when he got hit, he turned. It almost looked like he winged his arm. I told you I'd protect you. Michael ran away. I went after him for a while, but then I lost him. Don't worry, damn. How did you lose him? Yeah, how did you lose him, Thomas? Get good. Get better. Don't worry. He can't go very far. And we already know where his hideout is. He won't come back. The most important thing is that you're all okay. Look, the most important thing is that you're all okay. And he won't come back because homeboy knows you got a gun. And where are Cleo and Lily? I see this is an absolute win. Look, where's Cleo and Lily? That's concerning. Are they okay? They're looking for any trace of Michael. I'll tell them to come back inside. Tongue-tied, I'll get back to you later. My hands are shaking so much I can hardly type. That's understandable. Very, very understandable. You did a really good job, guys. Of course, settle down. Look, of course. Settle down first. You did good. You did good. But I can understand that you'd be a little shaken up about it. Keep your eyes peeled. Keep me updated. Look, keep me updated. And keep your eyes peeled. Do both of those things. Of course, we really did it. Yeah, you guys stood up to the man without a face. You stood up to quote unquote Richy. But I don't know. Was that Richy? The only way that you can All right, hold on, Dan. I know you're getting back to me. But I just want to give my thoughts about the man without a face and Richy. And the what looked to be like a live stream. Kind of like what I said earlier. The only way that you can kind of put these pieces together and still say that the man without a face is Richy, is in fact Richy, is if that's not an actual live stream, but a reoccurring loop of a video, but it has an overlay that makes it look like it's being live streamed or actively recorded. So it is a loop, but has an overlay to make it look like it's live stream, but it's not actual live stream because you can't live stream Richy being in two places at once. It's just not possible unless you have a loop, an already previously recorded reoccurring loop. But Dan opened up a can of whoop ass on Man Without Face. Hey, Sherlock. Hey, yourself. Everything okay? Pretty close call back then. Look, everything okay? You did great, Dan. It was a good thing that Dan had that gun and not freaking Thomas. So far, so good. There's an atmosphere of departure. The others want to go to the police station. The station in Duskwood. It's a good idea. I was wondering what you were planning. Look, I was wondering what you guys were planning on to do next. Claire, you wanted Dan calling her Sherlock. Hated when he was calling her Boo. Hated when Dan was calling her Boo. So instead of him saying, "Hey Sherlock," he was like, "Hey Boo." That's hilarious. I just shot a hole into a legend made real. I guess that's something I could report. True. Lily's idea. Yeah, I guess you should. I bet they're gonna believe you now. True, I bet they do believe you. Probably would be a good idea to report what you just did and what you just saw and everything that went behind it. I bet they believe you now, though. It's about time. That's right, Dan. It's about time they believe what we were telling them. I still haven't gotten through to Alan. Not yet. We'll get there. Thought so. Cleo tried earlier, too. I'd really thought I'd feel better now that I got him. But somehow, because it's not over yet, well, you only scared him off. It's not over yet, though. It's not quite over. I think so. He won't be back. He's probably lying around somewhere in the forest, seething. He's probably not feeling too good. I mean, even though it was a shot to his arm, he probably don't feel good. What was it you wanted to tell me, by the way? Yeah, what was that you wanted to tell me, Dan? You wanted me to set something straight for you. He's probably not going to tell us now because, nothing bad happened. Can't remember. That's a lie. Dan, I don't believe you. All right, I don't believe you, Dan. You remember. You absolutely remember. You know what you were talking about. I may have screwed up at hospital. Oh, he's about to tell us what he did at the hospital. What do you mean? Wait, am I being dragged into an awkward situation? Look, what do you mean? I testified against Phil. It was Dan that testified against Phil. No way. So Dan's the reason why Phil's in jail. Like, seriously? I mean, it makes sense, kind of. Yeah, it really was Dan. I mean, we kind of thought it was, too. We kind of thought he was the one that did it. Everything just fit. That he was angry because I left him hanging in the Aurora, the date with his sister, my breaks, so I had the police come to me, and then I might have told them a bit more about our group and so on. So Dan was the one that told the police about everything. Did you tell them about Jake, and what did you tell them about me? But why? I mean, I do understand why. But I'm curious, like, did you tell them about Jake? Which makes sense that he did tell them about Jake because Alan knew a little bit about Drake. Alan knew about Jake and about how he was a hacker. So Dan definitely spilled the beans about Jake. I know he did. Of course not. Sorry. Are you sure? Look, it's okay. It's going to be okay. Because we all know that Phil's not the actual culprit. It really didn't mean any harm. I just messed up. I mean, Phil is innocent and behind bars because of Dan. Amy Wilson, welcome to the stream. I mean, you may have been here for a little while, but first time I've seen you so far today. But it's great to see you. It's great to have you. Come on, don't say that. They definitely had something against Phil before I testified. I'm sure they didn't just throw him in jail because of what I said. Probably not. Yeah, I mean, that's probably true. You're probably right. Jesse is going to kill you. You have to fix this. I think if he fixes it, Jesse won't kill him. But Jesse's definitely going to be pissed with him. But look, Dan, you need to fix this. I will. Let's get Hannah and Richy back first. No word yet from the hacker boy? Not yet. I can practically hear your undertone. He missed all the action when everything went crazy up in here. He was just gone. Kind of weird, isn't it? Don't, Dan. Don't do that. Don't do that, Dan. We're not. Jake is not the man without a face, Dan. We're not doing that. Don't do it, Dan. We're not playing this little game. Don't you say yes. You think Jake's the kidnapper? You better not. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. There's no way. No possible way. I'm just saying. Yeah, Dan, well, I'm just saying. You're just saying, I'm just saying. Hacker Man disappears. Crowface turns up. Pretty weird. I will say I haven't seen Jake and Man Without a Face in the same spot at one time. No, I'm kidding. Kidding. Pretty weird, but what do I know? We have a problem. The car tires have been slashed. All the car tires have been slashed. Both cars. Yes, so Man Without a Face slashed all the tires. That's great. Well, they're not going anywhere now anyways. I was just about to get them when I noticed. When did Michael do that? Looks like you're going to have to stay in the cabin a bit longer. I just don't believe it. Look, it looks like you're going to have to stay in the cabin a little bit longer. Great. Dan wants to go after him. Dan almost had him. He almost had him. He almost had the whole Man Without a Face ass. Like, he almost had the whole thing. Is it possible to change the tires? I've got a spare tire in my car. Okay. But he slashed all four. You ain't got 4 spare tires, do you? One heck of a job he did. I need a drink. You and me both, Dan. Shit. You and me both. Have got any hard stuff left lying around somewhere? He's about to go find out. He's going to go check. Have you heard from Alan or Jake? Neither. Still waiting. I've been staring at the stream nonstop. Has anything happened? You probably shouldn't do it. Has anything happened? Or is it just on this continuous loop like I think it is? No, nothing's happened. They haven't moved a single inch. Wonder why. I just think, what if Michael suddenly appears there and takes revenge for what we did to him? He won't do that. Don't say that. I feel the same way. I hope he doesn't do that. If he hasn't harmed them now, I don't think he will. Right? I would think. I don't know. No, don't say it. Don't say that, Thomas. See if I can do anything about the cars. What are you going to do about the cars, Thomas? 4 tires slashed. You have 1 spare. Look, good luck with that. I don't know what else. I don't know how you're going to fix that, Thomas. Unknown. Of course. The hell do you want? Unknown knows my name, tongue-tied. There is a hatch in the ground close to the waterfall at the Grimrock. Why are you telling me this? Beneath that is a tunnel which leads to the Iron Splinter mine. That's where Hannah and Richy are. Why are you telling me this? I will let them both go. Under one condition. I wonder what the condition is. Like, what is the condition? I want you to come to Duskwood. I'm on my way. You think I won't? Shit. I am on my way. Is this a trap? How stupid do you think I am? Look, I'm halfway there. Like, nobody will get hurt. I mean, I won't get hurt. Not me. But you can't possibly be serious. Do you really think I believe you? And you're even crazier than I thought you were. After everything you've done to after everything you've done to us. What happens if we click on his? Okay, we just go to his links. Come to the Grimrock and they're free to go. Unknown is offline. You don't tempt me, man without a face, or should I say Richy? Don't tempt me, Richy. I'll come right to you. Jake, would you come on, please? You can forget about the stream. Jake, did you read that? Did you read what just happened, Jake? Hello? Jake? Look, he ain't talking to me. There's news. I need your advice. Look, I need your guys' advice. I mean, I'm up for coming to Duskwood. Don't get me wrong. I'm up for coming to Duskwood, but I just need to know if that's what you guys want me to do as well. Kermit says, tongue-tied, don't go. I'm already on my way. I've got my bags packed. MC just shows up and starts blasting. Did Alan get back to you? No. No, he didn't. But Unknown got back to me. What happened? I'll tell you. You're scaring me, tongue-tied. Oh, you don't have to be scared, Jesse. So here's the deal. I'm supposed to come to Duskwood, to Iron Splinter Mine to be precise. Michael is waiting for me in the Iron Splinter Mine. Look, to Iron Splinter Mine to be precise. He's letting Hannah and Richy go. He wants to swap out his hostages for me. He's letting Hannah and Richy go if I show up, if I come to him. Yep. That's exactly what he wants, Jesse. Is this a bad joke? It's no. You read that correctly. I'm afraid he's being serious. Yeah, that's what I said. I'm afraid he's being serious, and I'm okay with it. I'll go. I'm up for the challenge. Why would he want that? I don't know. Why me particularly? Maybe because he didn't slash my tires. Like, I'm the only one that can. Hope you might be able to tell me. Maybe he just wants help. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I don't know why me only, but maybe you guys can tell me. Maybe you have an idea of why. He was very terse. I don't know what the word terse means, but I'm using this sentence. He was very terse. Chat, let me know what terse means. Is it anything like dictaphone? And what are you going to do, tongue-tied? What I have to do, Thomas. Something that you haven't been able to do. Save Hannah. What a stupid question. I wasn't talking to you, Dan. Well, I wanted to hear your opinion first. I wish I could talk to Jake about this. I don't know. Look, I want to hear you guys' opinion first. What's this crap? There's nothing to talk about. You're not going to listen to him. Yo, Dan's got my back. Me and Dan, we bros now. Like, we're best friends. We became best friends. He doesn't want... Dan doesn't even want to see me in a dangerous position. And of course, Jessie she doesn't want to see me get hurt or anything. I'm seriously considering it, guys. Let us please talk about this properly. I really want to hear. Look, I'm seriously considering it. I can get there. I can be there soon. Jessie definitely doesn't want to. She's what? No. Dan is against it. I get it. I don't think there is going to be a vote, Dan. Fine. I'm still against it. I think it's strange that Michael is suddenly proposing this. Any opinions? I think it is strange that Michael's all of a sudden just going to propose it. Now that he got shot, he's proposing it. Terse is abrupt. Okay. So man without a face was being very abrupt. Being very terse. So I think it's strange that Michael is suddenly proposing this. Totally. There's no way we can trust Michael. If he really wanted to let Hannah and Richy go, then he'd just do it. What is he hoping to gain from you coming to Duskwood? I don't know. That's why I'm asking. He's certainly up to no good, but I really just don't know. I don't know what he gains from me. He gains an ass whooping. That's what he gains. If I come to Duskwood, he's going to let Hannah and Richy go, and he's going to get his ass whooped. That's what he gains. He's going to get... he's going to get a dictaphone up the side of his head. Michael threatened to kill us all. Maybe he thinks this is his last chance to get to tongue-tied. After he screwed up so badly with us, I doubt it. Back then he said he'd deal with me last. That sounds plausible. He did say he would deal with me last. What exactly did he say to you, tongue-tied? Just some crazy stuff at first. He wants me to come to him. He asked me to listen to him. Look, he wants me to come to him. And he said nobody would get hurt. That's true. You're killing me. He also told me where Hannah and Richy were. Yeah, that was it. And he said he had reasons for everything. Look, he did tell me where Hannah and Richy were. I hope you told him that he can take his offer and stick it. I didn't. I didn't really say anything. Do you think that would have been... Look, I didn't really say anything. I mean, I said something, but I didn't really say anything. I didn't say stick it. What if we all go together? I could pick you up. I pick you up in my car. We all go together. Like, we're gonna have to leave the wheelchair behind though, Dan. I don't have room for the wheelchair, but I can pick you all up. Dan, you'll just have to army crawl. when we get to the iron mine, you're just gonna have to army crawl through it. I don't know if you've noticed the condition I'm currently in, but I'm not exactly up for a cross-country hike. You're right, and I forgot about your tires, or our tires. And I'm sure Michael wouldn't want that. True. He just wants me to go. He doesn't want anyone else to go. Where exactly does Michael want to meet you? He didn't say. The Grimrock Waterfall. It's like a little iron something mine. What do you want, Thomas? Please meet Michael's demands. Of course you would say that, Thomas. What the hell's your problem? He did. I think, but you know what? I can't get mad at Thomas because I was saying I'd do it too. But I think Thomas just knows. He knows. I got big dictaphone energy, like Clary said. I got big dictaphone energy, and I'll go save Hannah. That's what Thomas knows. Are you nuts, Thomas? You can't ask him of that. And what if he's telling the truth, which he isn't? What if he's really going to let them go, which he definitely won't? You don't know that, tongue-tied. You could save Hannah and Richy this way. You could finally end it. Do you have any idea what you're asking of me? Do you think I don't know that? Exactly, Thomas. Maybe. I mean, I might be able to end it. I mean, I could. I would totally end it. But I couldn't just say totally end it. As much as I want Hannah and Richy back, we just can't risk this. Tongue-tied. Please. Thomas. If it was anyone else other than Thomas that's asking me to do this, like, look, I want to. I will. I'll totally do it. I'm begging you. Just give me... Let me just have, like, an option to say I'll do it. Jake. Thomas. Enough. Look who's finally back. We've all been anticipating your return. Jake, I was busy. Tongue-tied, a word. Yes, Jake. Absolutely. Are you serious right now? Yes, I'm sorry. I need to talk to Jake. Please excuse my lateness. Do you have any idea what's been going on? What have you been doing? It's fine. Look, Jake, what have you been doing? I'm sure he was doing something. I'm sure he was doing something very important. I was taking care of the stream, which was, I just saw, has been a total waste of time. Tongue-tied. We must talk about Michael's demands. Yes, we do. Well, then let's talk. Yeah, look, we definitely do. Well. I can only see one plausible explanation for Michael's demand. He wants to somehow complete his plan in this way. But I have no clue what your role is in all of this. Michael said nobody would get hurt. What caused this sudden change of heart? He told me about the iron splinter mine of his own accord. He did tell me about the iron splinter mine of his own accord. He also told me that nobody would get hurt as well. As a kind of concession, I think he trusts me. Is that crazy that he told me exactly where he was? Is it crazy? Indeed it is. And it would not be the first time we could say that about his approach. It's true. Michael said nobody would get hurt. Michael did say nobody would get hurt. I do not think you can believe him. I don't think so either. Will cause a sudden change of heart? I do not think this offer was a part of his initial plan. He is now changing directions due to the circumstances. What circumstances? Because we found evidence in his house. Because I sent Alan to Grimrock. You mean because Dan shot him? I think it's because Dan shot him, and now he's like, shit, probably can't do this now. I think that's what it is. I think maybe Dan got him better than I actually thought. I thought he just winged his arm, but maybe he got him pretty good. Maybe he's completely took out that one arm. The others expect me to go. Only one of them expect me to go. Just Thomas. But Jake doesn't want me to go. He says, no, tongue tied. Nobody could expect such a huge sacrifice from you. Thomas may have carried away, or may have gotten carried away by the current events, and I think he is not aware of the consequences that his decisions would encompass. He's never aware of any decision he ever makes throughout this entire game. Thomas is never aware. He's made so many wrong decisions. I can't think of a decision he made other than reaching out to me in the very, very beginning. Other than reaching out to me, which he was accusing me of Hannah. But other than reaching out to me and asking for my help, that was the only good decision that Thomas has made this entire game. I'm going to Duskwood. I am on my way. I'm going. I think I've made my decision. I'll go to the Duskwood. Tongue-tied. Please listen to me. I cannot say why Michael has made this offer of all of a sudden, but I can say with certainty that it is merely a trap. And what if I can really end it all? I just have to take the risk. Do you really think I have a choice? Look, I have to take the risk. I've got to do it. I've got to take the risk. I can understand that you want to help Hannah and Richy, but this is not the right way. If it is the right way, he turned to me. I believe Michael. It's the right thing to do. It is the right way. I'll get them both back. Richy needs me. You can't change my mind. Look, you can't change my mind, Jake. I'm going to get Hannah back. I'm going to have to whoop Richy's ass in the process because I know he's a man without a face. I just know it. But I can get Hannah out of there. I cannot do more than ask you not to go to Duskwood. I just have to do it. Look, I have to do it. You can't convince me not to, Jake. Look, you don't have to understand it. You don't. I want to go. I want to go meet Jesse. Not to rush you or anything, but we should really get this over and done with. I agree. Jake and I have finished our conversation. Sorry to keep you waiting. Look, I agree. Welcome back. I have made my decision. Wait, tongue-tied. We all just talked about the situation. and wanted to tell you something before you make your decision. If you want to hear what we have to say, that is. Yeah, sure. I do want to hear what you have to say. So, of course, it's up to you if you want to come to Duskwood or not. But we all feel responsible for your decision. You're our friend, and we've grown to care about you a lot. And you wouldn't have ended up in this situation without us. And that's why we want to ask you not to go. But because we're friends is the reason why I am coming to Duskwood. I will say thank you, though. I appreciate it. Thank you to all of you. But I'm still coming to Duskwood. Tongue-tied going to Duskwood for Jesse. Not just for Jesse. It's like 90% Jesse, 10% everybody else. Michael Hansen is unpredictable and highly dangerous. Whatever his goals might be, it's just too big of a risk. Fine, you convinced me. I didn't want to go anyways. But what else are we supposed to do? No. You didn't. You did not convince me. No. You didn't convince me. But what else are we supposed to do? We can't just sit around and wait. It's the smartest thing Thomas has ever said. We have to do something. And quickly. I can't think of anything else. But what? Look, I can't think of anything else. So I'm coming to Duskwood. Plain and simple. There is one alternative. I will go into the Iron Splinter Mine. Jake's going to go into the Iron Splinter Mine? Jake? Our Jake? What now? You? Jake, you're in Duskwood? Is he staying at the motel? Let us say I am in the area. Didn't know that. You can't be serious. And he's not actually supposed to tell anyone. Did we know that he was in Duskwood? I don't remember if he told us if he was in Duskwood or not. I know he said he was moving around quite often, staying in hotels and motels. I can't remember if he said he was in Duskwood or not, though. He didn't tell us. Like, I didn't know. Well then, thanks, Jake. I'm not sure. It's a bad idea. Look, thanks, Jake. I appreciate it, Jake. It's probably why Jake didn't want me to go so bad. He was planning on doing it himself. Let's try it. Let's try it. I mean, Jake couldn't talk me out of it. I doubt I could talk Jake out of it. There's no way this is going to work. Michael wants tongue-tied. That's the core of his demand. What do you think is going to happen when someone else turns up instead? The thing is, man without a face doesn't know what I look like. So Jake could go and say that he is me. Like, hashtag I'm tongue-tied. Hashtag Jake is tongue-tied. So he could totally do it. I do not want to meet Michael's demands. I'm pretty sure he will not be playing by the rules. So why should we play by the rules? You might be right. At least not if he sees you down there. You might be right, Jake. Yeah, even Clary says it. Michael wouldn't know the difference between Jake and tongue-tied. Hashtag Jake is tongue-tied. Jake as tongue-tied. Tongue-tied is Jake. Like, it is. It's what it is. The Iron Splinter mines are a gigantic cave system that extend far over 60 miles. Most people do not know that that parts of it lie below Duskwood, as the main entrance is in Tarrendale. But there is another entrance in the at the Grimrock. And we heard that entrance in the transmission. The entrance is hidden, isn't it? It is hidden, but we know that it's hidden because of Man Without a Face told us it was hidden. We also heard the entrance in the transmission as well. Jake and the Man Without a Face are men without faces. The Men Without Faces Committee. You're right. That's super creepy noise. An entrance to the Iron Splinter mine at the Grimrock. That's news to me. I've never heard of it either. Me neither. Michael must have entered the mine through the entrance at the Grimrock. And he demanded that Tongue-Tied should come to the waterfall at the Grimrock. However, that is not what I will do. Dan, let me guess. There's another entrance. Precisely. I see. He's going to use the element of surprise. I get it. Michael will have to put all his attention to the Grimrock. You want to block the entrance at the Grimrock. You want to lure Mike away. He's going to have to use all of his attention at the Grimrock. Probably won't even notice. That's actually not. He won't even notice that Jake's coming up from a different entrance. Sounds reckless. I mean, what if you're wrong and Michael is just happily walking through the mine? I'm sure Michael won't be doing that. How happily will he be walking with his injury? That's a good point. That's true. How happy would he be walking with a giant gunshot wound? You know what I mean? Of course, there is some risk involved. I have located the stream's signal. I know Hannah and Richy's approximate whereabouts. Furthermore, I have found a map of the tunnels during my research. I will escort both of them from the mine without Michael realizing. Thomas not so sure. Sounds feasible. Maybe he's a little sure. I think Jake can do it. There's no way this will work. I think Jake will do it. I think he can do it. I trust him. He's managed everything. So look, I trust Jake. 100% trust Jake. Thomas is for it. Of course Thomas is for it. Because I think that we need to act before Michael changes his mind. Jesse says yes. And this plan is better than just sending Tongue-Tied off into Michael's arms. I've always been a big fan of kamikaze missions. All right. Jake's on board with it. I will get going as quickly as possible. Jake is now offline. Dan is offline. Cleo is offline. Lily offline. Lily didn't say anything about it. That's Lily's half brother, and Lily didn't say nothing about it. Like, she's okay with this. I find that hard to believe that Lily is okay with it. What are we doing next? A cloud. So we have 3 sets of puzzles to do. Wow. Interesting. So there you guys have it. Let me go back to the camera. Let's see. The time is still ticking up. It never reset. everyone's still sitting in the same exact spot. I mean, I know for a fact that this video is on a loop. I can see it. I can see the loop. So I think that this is on a loop, that it's an overlay. The time is still ticking up. I still think Richy is the man without a face. I think this is all set up. I think this is a setup. Either way, it seems that we have another live stream that we're going to be able to do. I have to go through and do the mini game puzzles. I'm going to get those done hopefully by tomorrow. Maybe we can have another live stream tomorrow night. I have to see how quickly I can get these puzzles done. But if you're wondering when the next live stream is going to be, all you simply have to do is make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you turn the bell on. Make sure you turn on all notifications. That way, when I do schedule a live stream, you'll be notified of that live stream. I will also post it on my social medias, Instagram, Twitter. I'll post it there. So if you're not following me on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all of that jazz, make sure you do so following the links down below. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel and join the Tethered. If you are enjoying this content, if you're enjoying my channel, there's a bunch of different ways that you can support me and this channel, one of which by joining as a member, which we had awesome. Clary did that today. I appreciate that, Clary. Thank you again so much for joining as a member. You can also check out the merch that I have down below. Link is in the description. I hope you guys are enjoying this final episode of Duskwood. And it definitely seems like things are starting to pick up. They're definitely trying to make it seem like it's Michael Hansen, but I don't believe it. It is definitely not Michael Hansen. It's definitely Richy. And I was on my way. I was on my way coming to Duskwood. I was going to drop the dictaphone right on the man without a face. I was going to do it. But it's going to be Jake instead. Jake has convinced everybody that he is going to go into the Iron Splinter mine to find Hannah, and what he thinks he's going to find Jake. Or not Jake, he's going to find Richy. But he's only going to find Hannah, I think. Well, he might find Richy dressed up as the man without a face. But I'm sure we'll find that out in the next live stream. A lot has happened in this stream, and my mind is like mush right now trying to piece everything together. But my final conclusion is that this is a looped video with an overlay of a count up time and date. This is not a live stream of Hannah and Richy. I think that Hannah is there by herself. I think Richy's the man without a face. And I think we're going to find that out in the next live stream. But time will tell. I hope you guys enjoyed this live stream. I hope you guys are enjoying this amazing game, Duskwood. And I hope you guys have enjoyed this journey that we've been going on for so long playing this game. And I hope you guys are enjoying this content and enjoying this channel. As always, thanks for watching. Love you all. And we'll see you next time. Goodbye.